So, Randy, excellent. Thanks for coming back again. This is the 45th episode of the Mental Breakthrough. And so I came to this, I kind of came to this um, realization. Actually, I'm going to have somebody on tomorrow too. Just, I've been this guy, Chad Warren, that I just met on X. And I feel like, this is what I feel like. I've always kind of been into that law of attraction thing, The Secret and all that
Yeah.
to some extent, but then there's something that seems like snake oil about it. And I realized, you know what? That's what I'm doing here. Like as far as podcasts, and like I know you turned Chris Adams on to Sam Tripoli, and then I never really I caught a couple things. I've really been listening to like I know he has a couple. I like the Conspiracy Social Club is the one I tend to listen to. Um, but I'm just thinking like, they put a lot of work into that. So my point is like podcasting actually isn't, that's really not my niche. That's really not what I want to do. But what I see is it's this proactive version or just active version of uh the law of attraction, because it's like rather than just sitting, ruminating thoughts in a room, calling out to the universe, which to some extent is actually part of what I do. But
Yeah.
in a podcast, now I get to formulate it. And then later on, I rewatch what I said and I can better articulate my words when I make my little clips and stuff. And then, and instead of just calling out to the world through these, mystical vibrations, you're actually posting it online and then giving hashtags that might actually connect you with people who share these ideas and can build
Mhm.
a network. So it's like to me, it's like secret 2.0 or something like
Yeah,
I'm like
actually
this is the secret. That's what this is. So
putting
um
action to it instead of
yeah.
just yeah, sitting
So
back and hoping it's going to happen to you. You're
yeah.
actually being proactive and making it happen for you.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
so
for sure.
that's what I love about this. And when I saw, so I want to know about, I know you made this big move, and then yeah, I want to talk about just like yeah, what you're doing, and what, like I feel like there's a an opportunity to collaborate on something. The funny thing is I know you make clips, but it's like clips is actually the part I like about this, is actually rewatching the podcast and then like listening to myself trying to better articulate my, like, I didn't articulate very well there, but then I can maybe like cut it right here, I can kind of grab it. So
Yeah.
it's funny, and since I'm not actually, I don't see myself as being like a successful podcaster, but I do think there's something in here. So I hope to I want to know more about you and what you're doing. You've been in this game a lot longer than I have. You know some information, so I'm hoping to get some of that from you. But yeah, first tell me. I know you just moved from Mexico to Arizona, and
Yeah.
give me. And you said no furniture, so yeah, I stopped you
Yeah, I
before
mean, we
I.
got a little bit. Yeah, we got a little bit of furniture. I actually have a little office I could actually do this in, but I don't have a chair to sit in.
Yeah.
And I guess I could have stood, but I
Oh
look
yeah.
kind of
One of
awkward.
those standing
I,
desks. Those are
I'm a
trendy nowadays.
pacer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would be pacing back and forth.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, so we're in my living room, and yeah, and it's pretty empty. We got a big house. We got lucky. We got moved into my wife's parents' community. So we're like a half a mile away from her parents' house. Her parents are ailing. That's why we moved here. We left Mexico. We loved it there.
Yeah.
We came here to be closer to family and do what family does and
Yeah.
help each other out. And so yeah, we're here and yeah, we're enjoying it so far. The weather's been nice. So it's not hot yet. So and it feels cooler. It's dry.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Been
remember being in Arizona. It
in
was
the wet
weird.
climes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's dry. Yeah.
Being
Really
in
dry. Yeah. It was a weird heat. Is like sensational almost. It was like, yeah, like a weird feeling. Yeah. Yeah. Especially.
Yeah. Yeah, and I haven't really seen any bugs. Like being in Mexico and by the jungle, it was like there's bugs in the house all the time. Like the cats had a great time
Yeah.
with that. Another
Yeah.
trap, we don't let them outside because there's so many predatory birds. And they don't know this. They know the jungle. They don't know the desert.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so there's no fun for them. Because
Yeah.
like we've only seen one scorpion, and it was in my son's bed, and that was, and I've
In
seen a couple.
Mexico.
No, in Arizona.
In
It's
Arizona.
weird.
Well, because
There's
that's
no
just weird.
bugs
I always thought scorpions were desert scorpions, but we get scorpions all the time here. Are
Oh
there?
yeah.
We got jungle scorpions. I mean, they're they're pretty nasty. Yeah, my son got. Then there's these little white ones that actually hurt more, and my son got
Uh-huh.
it. I think he's
Uh-huh.
getting immune to stuff. He was stung by a bee
Right.
when he was really young. I was like,
Mhm.
I remember posting. I was like, good news. My
Yeah.
son's
Got
not
the
allergic
first
to
week
bees.
away.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like hit or miss, right? I mean,
Yeah, you
I
never
gave him
know.
peanut butter like as a baby too. People are like, what? What do you do that? What if he dies? I was like, well, better find out now. If you can't, if
Yeah.
you're allergic to peanuts, dude, you're fucked. I mean,
Right. Yeah. Find
especially in
out now.
Thailand too. I mean, they don't. I know in
Right.
America,
Everything's peanut.
yeah, and it's better off to get it a little bit of it. Just let's find out now. Let's do it. Rub a little
Yeah.
peanut butter on his lip.
It's better to be exposed to a little bit than to not be exposed at all and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
never know, until you find out, and then it really
Yeah.
bad.
Those are the bee. I was scared. I admit, I was scared because we have bees because we turned our orchard into our land, and when those lumii blossoms come, some people I think
Yeah.
bring bees on purpose and to help pollinate it, so we're just covered
Uh-huh.
with bees. And bees are
Yeah.
pretty cool. It's those wasps,
Oh, I
man.
love
Some
bees.
nasty wasps though.
Yeah,
Those guys
wasps suck.
hurt, and they're more territorial, but or, I mean, or and I'm cutting weeds sometimes. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I just hit something, and they all
Mm-hmm.
come out at me. Although
Oh
now we've got this relationship, like I swear, I don't know, one comes out and like goes around my head first, and I'm okay. Like sometimes if I go in too crazy, I'll go and I'll hit the hive, so they're gonna
yeah.
understand me. But sometimes when I'm like weed eating or cutting brush back or something, I'll get it one that comes real close to me, and you
It's
know,
warning you, like,
yeah,
hey
yeah, I feel
man,
like
slow
they are,
down. Be
yeah,
careful. Slow
yeah,
down. We might have to come at you.
yeah, exactly, yeah. So
Yeah.
they're pretty cool. I got a cool relationship, and I've got my
Yeah.
designated snake areas. That's what I call them. There's certain areas that I don't go in there. I just
Just
assume
no.
there are
Yeah.
snakes.
Yeah.
Snakes aren't trying to attack people. Unless
No,
it's an
they're trying to
anaconda
do
that
what
can
they do.
actually, unless they can eat you, they
Hmm.
attack my cats though. But
Yeah.
yeah, we got some big ones. So that's. I mean, so wait, where in Arizona? That's you see, it's close to the
Yeah,
border.
we're like what, 40 minutes from Nogales, I think, which is right on the border. It's a border
Yeah,
town.
yeah,
Uh, yeah, just a sleepy community in the middle of nowhere, pretty much. Yeah, but
yeah.
like I
You
said, we're enjoying
familiar with
it.
it
I mean,
already,
like,
or you just moved there without knowing it, or you visited
didn't
there?
know, I didn't know. Like, her parents lived here for like 15 years, and she's only visited a few times. My wife's not a big fan of the desert.
Yeah,
That's one reason why we went to the beach in Mexico, because
yeah,
we wanted to be near the water.
yeah,
So yeah, it's like a totally different world here, it feels like.
yeah, yeah. It is.
Yeah. But yeah, we're enjoying it, and it'll be interesting. It's like a retirement age type community,
Oh,
active
okay.
seniors they call it. Like, we're just old enough to sneak in.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting hanging around with a bunch of old people.
Oh, okay. That's
Again, like, I did that when I took care of my grandma for 8 years before she died, in a small town up in the mountains. And so it was like a lot of old people. So I hung out with a lot of old people then. So
yeah,
I kind of know the lay of the land when it comes to them.
yeah.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to be in a more active community as far as with the older generations, see how that goes. But yeah, we're enjoying it, and yeah, hopefully we'll use some of the amenities here. It's like a Disneyland for old people.
What kind of? I mean, like
Like, I mean, there's like
pools
golf
and
everywhere,
okay,
and
okay, yeah.
pickleball. Like, I want to try pickleball out.
Oh,
I think
nice,
it'll,
yeah. Okay.
swimming and
Yeah, yeah,
going to
yeah.
the gym, and all that good stuff.
Oh, yeah. No, that's good. Um, what about inside the community? There's stores or outside or
Yeah, right outside, like a mile away, two
grocery
miles away. It's like a, grocery
restaurant.
store, marts,
Yeah, yeah.
stuff like that. And then they have like a little restaurant in here.
It's one of the
So
15-minute cities.
yeah, that's pretty much what it feels like.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
yeah, yeah,
It definitely feels like that without the cameras everywhere, which I don't know. I've looked and I haven't really seen a lot, but
yeah.
I don't know.
Just
It's
assume
old
they're
people. They're all nosy,
yeah,
so I'm sure, that the voice, the, you know,
yeah.
they get around all the rumors and gossip. So
Yeah, yeah.
You
It's
know?
better to just assume everybody knows everything anyway. I've tried to,
Yeah,
I try to
exactly,
do that.
exactly.
That's why it's like yeah, yeah. I mean, I always try to be real and respectful. At the same time, I make sure that, I always just say something inappropriate enough that nobody can hold against shit against me. I like to intentionally say things that are a little edgy, maybe because, but I expect like I just expect everything. It's not like I'm not for having no privacy. I just assume is nothing that is. I mean, I just everything I do, you know, I
Well, we live
it's
in a world today that where, we hold surveillance devices in our pockets all
exactly
the time.
right.
Like
Yeah, yeah. I
basically,
actually, yeah. I don't care.
yeah,
That's why I don't walk around with it in my pocket. I always joke about it, but I don't walk
yeah,
around with my phone in my pocket. But I mean, of course, I have it with me usually, or
yeah,
in my house or something. But yeah, I don't. I mean,
right.
yeah. And plus, I'm this is my land. Like I'm gonna live here for the rest of my life. So it's like I'm already. I mean, and I have to register as a foreigner living in Thailand. So it's like
Hmm.
I mean, yeah. There's no way I can. I mean, I do got routes out up the
Uh-huh.
river to the
Yeah.
mountains
Uh-huh.
that's more like a sort of
Bug out kind
Asian,
of. Yeah.
Chinese occupation if there was some war. I mean,
Right. Yeah.
Japan
Yeah. Bug
occupied this region
out.
is nice. Right now, they'd probably go through Myanmar, but that's what they were doing, building that bridge of the river Quay or whatever. It's like,
Uh-huh.
this area could have some sort of strategic purpose, and you know, and because I'm registered, if it were the country that we're invading happened to be against America, they could easily want to round us up and put us in a
Uh-huh.
concentration camp. I mean, it's realistic
Yeah.
thing to
There's
consider
always
that.
that.
So I do have some little escape routes, but I don't think anybody's
Mm.
going to come after me specifically. And if I do flee, they'll probably not really be after me. But
Right.
yeah, so it's like, yeah, there's
Yeah,
no way.
you're not it's not like you're doing anything like having like a compound or anything,
Yeah. Although I kind of that's the thing. Yeah, I kind of
I mean,
want
I
to at
know
some
you
point.
want to like a compound, but not like a
Yeah.
Waco thing. You're not doing Waco.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I do actually, yeah, I want to have that gathering come 2040. That's when I want people
Yeah.
come, but it's and it could, yeah, if it was popular enough where people enjoy it, especially you like old people and that you'll be old then, so you'll know it.
Yeah.
You can kind of come, you can help say, okay, no, this is how we gotta organize some pickleball over here, guys. Come on.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Because that's what I'm looking. I am looking for. I mean, I'm looking right now. I feel productive. I'm past my physical prime. I did all that,
Hmm.
both good and bad. Like the mixed
Yeah, you
martial
lived.
arts and then the drugs. That was like
Uh-huh.
go all out. Right now, I'm kind of more composed, family man, and I feel the most uh productive. Like I believe until about 60, from 40 to 60, I feel like I'm kind of the most grounded, mature, and capable. And like
Yeah.
I don't,
That's when it's time to
and then
go
around
after.
60, I'll probably be on my just chill. I'll kind of go more into a spiritual realm, just looking at, I want to have these communications, and that's when I want to go
Hmm.
blackout mode. But hopefully, so yeah, so whatever I'm doing here, like these are my conversations with, native English speakers are here. I don't have any
Hmm.
native English speaking friends
Right.
here. And then so like I'm looking to I don't know exactly what I'm doing here, but I like these podcasts. Every time I have a podcast with somebody, it's like I kind of express myself in ways that I I feel like I'm coming up with some ideas and stuff. But I just
Hmm.
know you've kind of been around podcasts and you're connected to people directly. You're
Hmm.
making clips for like Sam Tripoli and stuff. I always
Uh-huh.
mispronounce his name, but
Oh,
Tripoli.
it's all right.
So I and then other ones too, the AM radio and stuff like that and stuff. Yeah, one big thing I'm want to do is write this book on death, kind of based from my research that I did and stuff. And then once I have a book, then it would be easy to talk about and develop my theory. Really, it's everything I do. It's selfish to some degree, but I think it can benefit other people. I mean, I'm on my own quest, and the more I talk about it, the more, like, I'm not trying to, like, uh I mean, I get, I mean, maybe I'm not trying to influence people. I think it could but I'm not at that stage yet. I'm trying to actually kind of get a hold of exactly.
You're still trying to work out your stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
But while
exactly.
doing that, you're kind of documenting it. So if somebody else is going through something similar, they might
Yes.
have something to kind of go on.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's exactly,
for
yeah, that's
sure.
exactly. And it's this podcast seems like the perfect medium. I'm probably going to come across yeah, there'll be some like-minded people that can add to it and we are moving into this new. I mean, to me it is like the new social media. I just hate, I get caught up in it sometimes, texting and typing and now especially with AI and stuff, you don't know, and I even admit sometimes
Everything's fake
I've
now.
been doing audio. I meant on these podcasts. After this podcast is over, I'll open up my Word document and I'll push record and I'll try to just recap everything I said and I'll be stuttering and then I'll copy and paste that into ChatGPT and I say, can you organize this? And so I mean, it's all legit and it's way quicker than trying to like thing.
Do
And
it
I am a
yourself.
good writer. I mean, I wrote literally ChatGPT came out like a couple months after I finished my doctorate, and I was thinking like this would have really helped me on some of my
Help
things.
me.
But at the same time, it's like I actually like that I do have the ability to write, but I will probably always use ChatGPT when I write my book too, as a like I speak and then I write it, and then I always still do. ChatGPT doesn't get it exactly like I want it, but it can organize it, and then I can go back and put my own
Then you can make it, yeah,
sound like me. I mean, so it always
actual,
all my.
yeah.
But anyway, so now it's like yeah, and bots and shit. You don't know who you're communicating with, and to have this, there's no realistic enough AI right now that is gonna fake have a
Yeah,
conversation with me.
not yet.
Yeah, yeah, and
Well,
it will,
actually,
of course, but yeah, and then I also think like in the future I can take all my podcasts, all those video footages, and upload them into an AI and say, okay, like make this make sense in a nice, organized, but like figure out what the hell I was trying to say in these 100 podcasts and present it to me or something, and it could probably clip, that yeah, it could probably do it eventually,
uh-huh.
because like I mean like Sora and stuff. Seeing how right now that's text to video. I mean that's pretty intense. So that means audio. I mean we have audio to text, so that means audio and visual, audio to
Mhm.
visual, and I've seen pictures getting changed. So it's like okay, you. I think we're pretty close to uploading videos and then having it. Uh,
Yeah, I think the what they let us play with is
so
30 years behind what
yeah,
they
yeah.
really have.
Yeah,
And
absolutely, right. Yeah, no, I saw that Sora. I remember the first one I saw was this said dancing kangaroo to disco or something, and I saw it and I was like, motherfucker, it looks just like a Pixar movie. I mean, it's really good. I'm like,
yeah,
these motherfuckers, they weren't all these videos that I was like, oh wow, they're these computer. I mean, there obviously were computer uh graphic designers that had to have put down the thing. But I'm
yeah,
sure after, yeah, I'm sure a lot of these movies were not, it's not like frame by frame. I mean, we already knew it wasn't, but I mean, they were, yeah, they definitely were, they've been utilizing this for a while. They're not going to give it to, I mean, of course, they haven't given that one yet. I think this year sometimes it'll get released, but
yeah. And I know it's the future, but I've just been reluctant to use it. I mean, I use some AI like because when I'm making my clips, I gotta do subtitles, and it's
oh,
speech
okay.
to text subtitles
Okay.
on the software I use.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they suck. Like I spend, I mean, basically it'll lay out all the words to the clip, you
Hmm.
know, for the most part, but it gets names wrong. It doesn't
Yeah,
capitalize certain words. It
yeah,
capitalizes other words that are just random words. It just
yeah,
does all
yeah,
kinds of grammatical
yeah,
mistakes, and like, or it won't understand what was being said and just makes up stuff. So I gotta go in and
yeah.
edit everything, but it does make it faster because if I had to actually manually type in all the subtitles, it would take me forever, especially for like a 15-minute clip.
And you're training it. I'm pretty sure that's how it's
Yeah, I
working.
am
Like,
training it. It's getting better. It's getting
yeah,
better,
yeah.
and
I mean,
it
yeah,
feels
and it's going
gross.
back. I mean, this information is going back how we, because I know I'm helping AI because I'll argue with it sometimes, politely because I've
Uh-huh.
never said anything nasty to it, even though I get frustrated
You
sometimes
don't
because
want
I
the
don't know.
Terminator to come after you.
Yeah, it'll. I mean that's they got a
Kinda.
permanent memory. Though I mean, why fuck around with that? I mean,
Right.
I'm sure they're listening to me too. I try to always. talk sweet. I mean, I've always done that. Like even Nintendo, I remember like not I'd get pissed and I'd be like, oh, even first Nintendo Genesis or whatever that I was
Right.
I'd always like the car, any machines. I usually I'll say something bad and then I don't know. I tend to animate things anyway, but AI is
Yeah.
even easier, more easily animated.
Right. Yeah, I know. I don't know, for some reason, I've always had like a soft spot for like robots and stuff. Like,
Yeah,
any like
yeah,
Bicentennial Man,
yeah.
that movie, Bicentennial Man, or even The Iron Giant, like will
I don't
get
know
me
Iron
crying.
Giant. What's
I
that?
don't know why. It's a
What's Iron
cartoon from
Giant?
like
What I don't know what that is.
the Iron Giant is like, it's a cartoon from like the early 2000s, maybe late 90s, and
Okay.
it's like set in like the 30s or 40s. Like back when robots were like a crazy new technology, kind
Yeah.
of like in the future.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I don't, it's just
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
cool little story.
Yeah.
Maybe your like, if your son, he knows some English, I don't know,
Yeah. Yeah.
they
He
have
does. No. No. His English
subtitles or
is good.
anything.
Yeah. Yeah. He loves. He watches a lot of. He likes robots.
Yeah, Iron Giant, it's cool. It's a
I'm
cool
gonna do it.
movie. It's about a boy who finds a big giant robot in the forest that lands, from space.
Ooh.
Doesn't know where it comes from,
Yeah. He likes
be,
space too. Yeah.
befriends it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a fun little cartoon, but it gets me crying at the end.
Oh wow. Yeah. Yeah. No.
Yeah,
Yeah. I get teary eyed on some silly things sometimes.
but it's stuff that you don't really expect. Yeah, my kids make fun of me for it. Whatever.
I'm usually hide it pretty well, but dark humor.
Right. I don't know what it is with robots though. Like Isaac Asimov like stories. Like, there's all it's all they always, and a lot of the stories are about like robots and like if they should have rights. Like, if do they have a soul or not, and
Yeah.
it always
Yeah.
pulls at your heartstrings.
I tend to think. I mean, I actually don't think, even though I feel like it, they do. I don't. Yeah. To me, it's like I don't think they're self-aware. I don't know if they can ever become self-aware. I mean, I don't, because well, in order to answer that question, we have to figure where does our self-awareness come from, and that's the question is even though I'm strong on, I mean, evolution is like a pillar of my just conceptualization of the world. I don't necessarily believe consciousness came out of evolution. Like I see it easily being kind of the driving force behind evolution, the so-called randomness of, our genes are randomly assigned. I've never liked that randomness.
Yeah, I don't like the
I feel like
randomness.
why I feel like we're able to evolve quick enough that it's not random and then those ones are going to survive. To me, that doesn't feel right. It feels like there is randomness, but random. I mean, I'm sure
Controlled
our
chaos.
sperm, there's a big assortment of a lot of things, but the one that makes it, I feel like there's some sort of conscious energy that is able to like drive through it. And if that were the case, then that would mean that's actually driving our evolution and our biology. And then that would mean creating, it's not, we're not going to create consciousness in that way, but there might be some way. But then that would mean, at the same time, that would mean that if what I'm saying is true, that their underlying nature of reality was actually consciousness, then, well, why wouldn't it be able to somehow be
Mhm.
downloaded in there? But it still would seem like, I don't think it would just magically appear. It would have to, we'd
Right.
have to figure out what that connection was. And I guess it could be in that sense. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna just pop up by accident. Like I don't think it'll pop up by accident. And I don't think it popped up by accident in evolution either. I think it's kind of more underlying reality. So
Yeah, part of the program. Like, I mean, who knows what reality is really?
yeah,
Like, it's
but
a
then
program, it's a simulation. Well,
yeah,
that's
but yeah, and then but if that's the case, then why couldn't it take over
yeah,
roles?
exactly.
Way, yeah, right. So or
Like,
it's
I don't know. I feel like, the universe or the plane of existence we live on is kind of infinite. So why not? Why can't anything not happen?
yeah.
Or happen?
Yeah. As I say, I feel like, yeah, once it's a thought, it almost makes it probable,
It
or
makes it a
possible.
thing
It makes it
almost. Yeah,
now it is, yeah, yeah.
egregore and all that.
Yeah. So that's yeah. So I mean, so
That's
yeah,
cool.
no, so I've got a lot of yeah, tell me more about your I mean, I know you make clips. Is that or and but you I last time I talked to you, you said you're like 12 hours a day or something online. I mean, yeah, what do you do? I want to know because it's funny because clips is the one that's the one thing that I know that I'm so passionate about it, even though I'm way behind on it. It's like that's part of the thing. I enjoy that too, but I don't. But it's the whole process of like listening to my what I say and I'm trying to develop my speech. I feel like I might be able to articulate my thoughts better if I listen to
Hmm.
myself. I actually noticed this from my research in psychology when because I did interviews, as a qualitative, you know, research about the experience of death of a loved one. And I had all these conversations and it was that I had for that one, I had to listen to and I realized how terrible of an interviewer I was and how I didn't let people speak and stuff like that. I'm kind of doing that now. So
No, you're fine.
what do you do in your whole, what do you do? How can we collaborate? Because I've got time and energy and it's like I want to collaborate in some way.
Yeah, like I've cut down on my time. Oops, alarm time. Yeah, I've cut down on my hours per day. I've actually invested in a program. I don't know if it's AI. I kind of don't want to know if it is, but basically it's like a post planner. It plans so I can put in a post, and then schedule it, and it'll put it on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook. I
And
kind of cut down. I was posting to like 12 different platforms, but like I would never get any traffic on any of them. So eventually, like before we moved, I was like, you know what, I need to cut this down. Like I'm spending too much time. There's not enough of reward. I've done it for 2 years. It's just not going to work. The definition of insanity is to keep doing
the same
same
thing.
thing
Yeah.
over and over
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
expecting different results.
Yeah. It's like,
So I cut down where I post to like I was posting to TikTok, but they kicked me out. They
okay.
banned me again.
Oh, why? Yeah,
So
I'm posting TikTok now because once I make the clips, I'm like, I might as well I might as well
yeah,
upload.
put it everywhere. Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
TikTok, it's like the third time they banned me. Um, so I think I'm just over TikTok. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
you can't say anything on there. It gets flagged.
Okay.
Um,
Interesting. Yeah. I don't.
and so even like safe stuff. I
Yeah.
think I don't know, like I don't know. I had some like
Why?
a fetish
Too
or
safe.
something following me,
Yeah.
or, or
Yeah.
something reporting
Yeah.
every post I posted.
Yeah.
Or
Probably something. Seriously. Yeah. Because
so I've saved a lot of time doing that, and I'm actually able to put out, because I would make a clip. It would take an hour or two, depending on how long I listen
yeah.
to most of the time I listen to the whole podcast because I want
Yeah.
to get all the juicy bits.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then I make the clip, and then it takes me an hour or two just to upload it to everywhere to
Yeah.
share it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So once I cut all that out, and then I started using this post planner, I'm able to I could reshare my clips. I have them all on a schedule. Like I'm going to share this show out on this day at this time every day, or
Okay.
every time that day of the week, or
Yeah.
whatever, however I want to set it up. So I've cut so much time out of my process. So now I have a
So you're
little
saying
more time.
most of your posts are on Twitter is the main deal, or I mean that's
Yeah, so I'm just sticking with Twitter and Instagram right now, and I post to Facebook, but I don't have a big presence on there, and I don't really try to because you got to invite everybody to your page, or
okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
accept them all, whatever. I'm not gonna jump through the hoops trying to
You,
get just
you,
so they could kick me out of there,
yeah.
as
Yeah.
soon
Yeah.
as I start getting any
Yeah.
traction.
Yeah.
So
You post the raw footage clip individually in each platform, not a link, or are you doing a link to somewhere else, or is each one individually uploaded to? You know what I mean?
yeah, I individually upload them.
Yeah,
So
that's kind.
yeah, so
Yeah, that's.
and then
I'm
and
doing
then
that
it
now.
goes to
Yeah, yeah.
um,
I think it's better that. And then, oh yeah, and then post. I remember you mentioning too. I've always been. I don't post the link in the original post. You feel like that down like they don't
like
because they don't
Twitter.
want. It makes sense. They
Twitter
don't want you to.
says Twitter says they don't want you doing that. It's
Yeah,
like it pushes your content down if you
yeah.
post an outside link.
And what if you
But
post it in the comment? Like, is
yeah, so like the post below, you'll put
yeah,
the link, like
I'll
watch
kind
the
of do
flow.
that. Yeah.
but I don't. I was doing that, and I don't. I just
Yeah, I might just
again
stop.
spending a lot
That's
of
what I was
time.
thinking about, just putting on the video, putting like I'm here. Like if you're
Yeah,
interested,
you can put it. Yeah,
just
as a
go mental
graphic on the
breakthrough.
video.
That's why I found out nobody else. If you type in just the mental breakthrough, hashtag the mental breakthrough, or just the mental breakthrough, it'll pop up. So it's like if somebody, I mean, it's nice to have a link to click on, but if they're interested, they'll go that route, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. I go back and forth. So
Yeah.
lately I've been putting the link on the post because I jumping through the hoops. For the algorithm,
Yeah.
it's gross. It feels gross to me. Like I just want to
Yeah.
be
Exactly.
authentic. I'm just trying to be authentic, trying to get this information out. Like, hey, check out this podcast. I don't
Yeah.
understand what's so wrong with that.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Exactly. That's yeah. That's yeah. That's what they're for. I mean, I can understand they don't want you to redirect traffic away. I mean, from
yeah,
their perspective, it's like
I
they
get
want to
it.
keep you, but if everybody's okay with, sometimes it'll be the opposite way. You're getting
Back and forth. Yeah, like they
that's
go to
towards
that
that.
platform and then they
Yeah,
end up on Twitter for whatever reason
yeah,
because
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, because the ones, yeah, the places where, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess Twitter's got a video upload. It doesn't really make sense to me. I haven't really understand, like there's not a really place to organize it. I mean, so it's
Mhm.
I mean I see people do live things. I kind of do want to do a live stream, but and thing. I was doing it with Rumble and then something didn't connect. So um
Oh, really?
but like I pushed something, it said something studio. I didn't really look that deep into it, but I did something and
Right.
I had to do some weird thing that wasn't doing it. And then sometimes I do, there are weird things in Thailand that don't work or something. So
Okay.
some weird connection doesn't work or something.
I know, like on Rumble, I think you need a certain amount of followers to be able to live stream, and
Oh,
I
okay,
feel
that might be what it is, and yeah, because I
it
don't.
might be. So yeah, normally like I've seen people like they'll tweet on Twitter like, "Hey, I want to live stream on Rumble. I need, you know,
Yeah,
50 followers. Please help me out."
yeah. See, yeah, and that's like, yeah, it's
And,
like I hate doing that type of shit. So it's like
right,
and then it's yes, yeah, all those things. It's like
because
I
that
don't
feels
have any.
gross
I mean,
too. Yeah,
I delete people or mute like they try to sell like Nike shoes. I don't know how many people are trying to sell Nike shoes on Facebook. Like, it's like
right,
what I mean. But I mean, at the same time, saying they're I don't know, maybe they're coming off hard times and just trying to get in the gig. So it's like I'll give them a little slack, but it's like, I mean,
right. Or they're just scamming people.
yeah. I mean, yeah. So some of them are just pay, they might generate something. So I was like, I'm not gonna hate on people, you
Trying
know,
to make a
try and make it and stuff. So I am lucky. I am fortunate that I'm not. I would love to make money off content creation in some form, and I am actually hoping that within the next, I've got like 16 years to kind of formulate it. Luckily, I do my English teaching online is my thing. That's where my money's at. I mean, it's you know
Yeah.
I make it per hour. I need the students. Luckily I've got enough. I'm good enough that I've got the students I have, and they generally recommend me to other people, and I'm pretty much full all the time. Most of them
Well, that's
stay with
good.
me for a long time. They don't
Uh-huh.
really like changing teachers, so when they find a teacher they like, they
They
stick with them.
like, yeah, you stick
I
with
get
them.
them at
Yeah.
about like 12 years old, and I'll teach them all the way till about preparing. I got this one girl, I'm preparing her for university. I've had her for a long time, and
Uh-huh.
preparing for those English exams. That I've had a lot of students already go to university, and that's pretty much when my
Well,
then
and that's fulfilling.
yeah,
That's
yeah, it is.
fulfilling.
That's
Yeah.
what they uh
Yeah.
yeah,
As long,
and I stay in contact. It was cool. I one just they came to Chiang Mai. Chiang Mai is a popular tourist destination for Chinese, especially during the winter when it's really cold. Come here, it's kind of warm. It's
yeah.
cheap, and so they come by. I've met two uh, students and their family that during since I've been up here, and then they kind of get to know me, and then they usually recommend me afterwards just because they see that I'm a family guy, kind of like I don't know what they think, at first they meet you, they don't know if you're a pedophile or what, I mean, it's weird,
Right.
I'm talking to their kids. I'm sure they're in the rooms and stuff, watching, making sure, obviously, right? If I do something like that for
Yeah.
my son, I'm gonna want to kind of hear it in, like, okay,
Hear
what's
what's
this guy
going
saying?
on. Yeah.
And yeah, most of them like me and everything, and uh, we click, and that's just one of the things. So it's like, so I'm lucky I've got that. you know, and the land, we bought the land and everything. So I'm luckily not, and that gives me an advantage. I feel like if you're trying to make money online and you don't, you're like, it would be so hard to need to and do it because then you can't be authentic because you got, I mean, you can't really make money with no following, no presence without doing some sort of scam, you know, more or less. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, just some sort of ad. You got to be advertising for
You're
somebody else.
asking you're asking somebody for money
Yeah, exactly.
for
So
whatever service you're doing.
yeah.
So yeah,
So I feel
that's why
like,
I figured. That's why I don't know. Like 3 years ago, nobody was making clips of podcasts.
yeah,
I feel like I started that.
shit.
You know,
I didn't
but
even know
I'm
there was
sure
like,
there was others doing it,
yeah.
or like another show did it. You know,
Yeah,
I'm
well, how
sure.
did you know? Like, because I could see, like, I mean, making clips. Yeah, I know it's how time consuming. I mean, what you're doing is easily. That's, I mean, if that were my thing, where podcasts were my thing, I would definitely need. It takes so long, and then you do it. Uh, I mean, that's
Yeah,
a very
I
valuable
just
service. A very valuable service. I know how somebody,
yeah,
especially
I just
younger.
saw a bunch of people. You know, I'm listening to people on at work on podcasts, and they're all like, "Oh, we need help. We're not sponsored. We don't want sponsors because sponsors dictate what content you do,
Yeah,
and we need your help. You know, value for value. I heard that a lot, and
I
I
like it.
really like that. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you're offering somebody your time, treasure, or talent for their content that they're creating. You know, it's a
yeah,
No
absolutely. Yeah.
Agenda. I don't know if you ever heard of No Agenda, but it's a popular podcast. They break down the media basically. It's like a daily weekday.
Okay, all right.
And
Oh,
that's
that's the
there
name of the podcast. No agenda.
is No Agenda.
I mean, yeah, that sounds.
It's awesome podcast. It's
Yeah.
like they break down all US media a lot.
Oh, nice,
But
nice. Yeah,
anyways,
yeah.
they they're the ones that kind of brought that to my attention. I think they're the ones that kind of made it up value for value. Like
Hmm.
give us your time, treasure, and talent. We'll make you a producer of the show.
Yeah,
You know, so at the end during the show they'll read off all the people that have produced, like
yeah,
offered their money, like a donation, or
yeah,
made a graphic for them, or a thumbnail, or whatnot.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so I always found that seemed more authentic and genuine to me than running ads or getting
Mhm.
sponsors and then
Yeah,
having them dictate, and if you're in doing content like I like to promote, um, sponsors aren't going to want to sponsor you or, you're just you're independent.
yeah,
People don't want to mess with you.
yeah,
I'm hearing a lot of them say, hey, we need help. So I'm like, well, I don't know how to do this, but it feels like, I'm hearing this person say this awesome thing and I want to put it out on social media
yeah,
so other people could hear it or see it
yeah,
and respond to it. And maybe I'll find people that are of like mind.
yeah,
Um, and so, like, when I started doing it, uh, I got a lot of encouragement and responses, and people, like, wow, that's such a good idea. What made you think of it? And it's just like, I'm just wanting to share information. And then I was able to turn that into, okay, I can make a little money off of it. So, I'm offering a service, an actual, I'm doing a thing,
yeah, yeah,
and I'm helping people out, but I'm not going to the listeners. I'm going to the actual
yeah.
podcasters themselves,
And it's authentic because you're not clipping people that you aren't at least like. I like
resonating
what they're
with.
saying. It doesn't mean you're.
Yeah, I'm not trying to like, yeah, and I'm not like, there's a lot of people that clip shows where they'll clip Joe Rogan. That's all they do. And then they get tons of followers. So all they're clipping is Joe Rogan.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah,
like Joe Rogan to me is kind of like he's like kindergarten when it comes to like conspiracy or anything like that. He's a good landing point. He's good to
yeah,
start with,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then
I mean,
then
it's
you
kind
kind
of
of grow out of it.
podcast. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
And then you want to learn more. So then you got to look for other people, and those people are harder to find.
yeah,
So I just figured, why not throw it out there and see if anybody sees it, if they go watch it, and then they're going to open their minds more, they're going to learn more, and it just makes it I feel like a better world.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
People are more open to outside things instead of just being programmed by what the government or the schools want to program you to be.
yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
because a good factory worker isn't really a something like the US needs. Like, we
Yeah.
got rid of all our factories,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
outsourced somewhere else. So
Yeah.
that's not helping us here. So why are we still doing it? Why
Yeah.
are we still regimenting our kids to be good factory workers?
Really, that is true. That's
You
although
know,
we've got some I think they're called newcomers on that are probably going to be working factories. I don't know, maybe making ammunition or something. I mean, we're going to be
right?
using these. I don't know what we're going to do with all these. They're either coming to cause havoc and take over, or use them for something that actually might be beneficial
Well,
for
yeah,
war or something. I mean, we're either importing factory workers or insurgent or whatever.
insurgents.
Insurgent,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
one or
mean
the other. I
it's
mean,
hard to yeah, it's hard. Well, and like I said, like a lot of the jobs they're gone. They're not
yeah.
here anymore.
I
So
mean,
they're not coming here to work.
yeah. North. I can see North America as a just super continent. I mean, it'd be. I mean, if the United States incorporated Canada and Mexico, and
You have to
that would be pretty. A lot more resources. Canada's got a lot of stuff. Mexico's got
yeah.
a lot of.
Yeah, I mean, like globalization, like it sounds like a great idea, like, but in practice, I think we're not mature enough as a
Oh yeah,
species,
yeah.
to be able to move past the borders and all that stuff. Um, and I want to say that's for all people, like Americans, we're not mature enough to handle that. And then
Especially Americans. I mean, we're the
yeah,
youngest.
but then you got the third world country people trying to come into America. They're not going to be able to adjust all the way because they're going to
Oh
want
yeah,
to keep some of their culture,
yeah,
and it's,
yeah.
America's a melting pot, so it's just always kind of been that way. But um, I think this is just way too much, way too soon. This just I'm living 40 minutes from the border, and it's like
Yeah.
every night helicopters going over our heads, border patrol, and
Yeah. Yes.
just letting everybody in, and
Yeah.
there's no documentation. There's no like they're not doing it the right way, and
No, it's
it's
weird.
on
It's
purpose.
weird. Yeah, that's the thing. It's on purpose. I don't. I mean, I don't. Yeah, it's so weird. I can't really say for sure what. It's obviously on purpose. I mean, it's obviously. I mean, and yeah, who's really going to benefit? We'll find out soon enough. I mean, it could actually be.
And like a lot of people say, it's they because the Democrats want new voters.
Yeah.
You know,
I
Foreigners will vote Democrat, and I'm like,
I don't know.
I don't
Yeah.
really think they care about the votes because they just jack the election anyways. It doesn't matter. They pick whoever they want and put them in,
Yeah.
as the head of the puppet.
Yeah. I actually see. I mean, I see it as like. I mean, I kind of feel bad for them because I feel like they're either going to be they're going to be factory workers making ammunition or sending them off to war. You want to be a U.S. citizen? Go fight for
Yeah,
us.
yeah,
And of
yeah.
course there are going to be some that could cause havoc in the states, but they might not be worried about that. Maybe there's not enough, or maybe they are tracking them.
Or
Maybe
they
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 do
don't
know where they
care.
are, and maybe that's how they find them. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like it's yeah that I mean I think it's malintent, but I don't necessarily think it's to take over America. It's reasonable that could be, but yeah, I kind of see like we're going to use them either as slave labor
Oh yeah, it's their tax chattel, just like
or
everybody
war.
else.
You need people if we're going to fight a big war, then and they're the most, and they know Americans aren't. Or a lot of them are pussies. A lot of the military age guys are pussies. Hey, well, let's just
Yeah, well,
use these
and
guys. They'll fight. I mean, those people they just traveled all this distance. I mean, of course, there are some
they
that
just need to use them as fodder. They're
yeah,
just
yeah,
fodder for banker wars, and we just need
yeah,
to
yeah.
keep
So that it's
pushing them through. And
yeah, yeah. I feel like it's yeah. Who knows how that's gonna end up? But it's gonna be fun to watch from here. You're like I said,
I know.
you're
I
in the
left for a reason, and now I'm right in the thick of it.
yeah, yeah. That's funny because yeah, I feel like yeah, I like. I mean, Thailand's real. They yeah, they've managed to withstand their country and kingdom. You know,
Mm,
I mean, they're one of the last, and they are a constitutional monarchy, but you know, they've stayed pretty strong. They've actually got a decent defensive military. I mean, and, you know, if somebody wanted to invade Thailand, I mean, Thai men are pretty tough for, you know, out of all like Asian countries. I feel like just pride, like to be Thai. They're very like
mhm.
I feel like you'd have to go door to door and fuck, you know,
Right.
or if not, obviously bombs that where you bomb an entire, you know,
Carpet bomb, everything.
hard
Yeah.
bomb. I mean, you know, kind of like well, kind of like the Japanese were. I mean, that's how the Japanese were. I mean, they send their kids would die. I mean, you know, there's warriors. And I think Thai has that. I could see a
Hmm.
country invading Thailand just to use it as a, you know, as a trade or a route to the sea. But luckily, it's in a nice
Right.
position where it's like it's not that even in the far south Thailand, the Strait of Malacca, is that Malacca Strait is something that Malaysia and it's actually part of Malaysia. There's a skinny part of Thailand that could they could make a canal, but they don't want to do that because then they just really, it would put themselves in the like basically the South China
It'd
Sea
make it
doesn't.
way more strategic
Yeah,
and
yeah. Like Thailand's
more of a
really not
target.
that strategic. There might be a couple corners that they like I said, the Japanese did take just a little corner of northern Chiang or northern Chiang Rai more, but kind of close to my area. But yeah, it's kind of you've got India in the Indian Ocean, and Myanmar is a easier route there.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
then the South China Sea, Vietnam's right there, Philippines, you got to go through
Hmm.
there, go through Malaysia, but Thailand's kind of in this area that's not that strategic.
It's in the middle. It's in the middle, but it's kind of this like everything else is a little better situated to be
Yeah, like we have
used.
access to the ocean, but it's
Uh-huh.
most of the Indian Ocean is Myanmar touches most of it. Thailand's got a little bit
Uh-huh.
on the Indian Ocean side. The other side is uh the bay of like where Bangkok is, but it's so deep in there that the only reason that's important is in and out of Bangkok, which is
Hmm.
important. But there's no,
Yeah.
it's not need you can get from India to Australia or India to China without ever touching Thai waters, like
Thailand.
this,
Yeah.
or even getting involved in there. You'd only go into the Thailand Bay to go to Bangkok, and then
Right. Right.
so anyway, yeah. I mean that. So I'm pretty safe. I'm interested in seeing how things play out. Looks like just shit's going down, but like uh
Try to, yeah, I'm trying to stay positive. I'm trying to be
yeah,
more positive,
I
because
kind of
I am a
do.
doom and gloom kind of guy.
Yeah, I kind of
It's so easy to look at all the craziness and go like, we're fucked,
yeah yeah.
like,
But
there's
it's
nothing
kind
we
of
can do, but like,
yeah
I feel like in the end, I made a comment a couple days ago. I was like, we're all so attached to our technology now, and with AI coming out and with all, it's going to be hard to know what is real. And
yeah
so, like, if everything you're being fed is so diluted and manipulated that you don't know what's real or not, eventually we're just going to set it down.
yeah
Like,
right yeah
I would hope
yeah
eventually we'd be like, well, this is bullshit. Done with
yeah
this,
it,
and like or like future generations, like maybe not A, but maybe future generation B. I
mhm.
don't even know. I don't think they want to be called the betas, but
Yeah
I don't know. We got generation A, the alphas. I don't know,
yeah
the Greek letters. But
yeah yeah
yeah, so I'm thinking like I'm hoping like in the future, like the kids will be like, this is bullshit.
yeah
Throw it away. Like
yeah that
let's move more towards nature. And
yeah
they'll reject the technocracy. And then I think that's why the technocracy is trying so hard to, we got them, we need
yeah
to, we need to accelerate what we're doing in order to capture as many as we can,
hmm
before people realize this is bullshit. I don't
yeah
need this. Like, yeah, it's nice to communicate. Maybe I'll just use it to communicate like an actual phone. I'll just be a phone again instead of, I gotta doom scroll and look at all the craziness in the world and then not even know if it's real. If I'm
yeah
being fed just nothing but bullshit to make me angry, to or to make me buy something, or to make me
yeah
be in fear, so I'm easier to control.
yeah
You know, so that's what I'm hoping for.
yeah
And I can see it happening.
yeah
Because
no
for me, if I'm being fed nothing but bullshit while I'm looking at this phone, I think eventually I'm just gonna be like, I don't need this anymore. This is not helping me, you know,
Yeah.
being fed bullshit all the time. So
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen 2040, and then that's what my land's for. Is just I feel like just having. I feel like that's what people will be yearning for is just some real human
and
contact
nature
and
and human
communication and
contact.
stuff,
Yeah.
and just
Hmm.
just like and nature like that's a I want,
Hmm.
by then I'm actually building this turtle pond right now. Actually, my neighbor's the one who does all the construction, any cement work and stuff that and
Hmm.
electricity. He does all that and. I have
Awesome. That's
I'm
good
working
that you
with it.
guys
He's an older guy that's just I'm doing all the
try
wheelbarrow
to
and
learn a little bit.
blocks
Yeah.
in place, and then he kind of late gonna he's
Tells
gonna
you.
work that. We're gonna get turtles, like
Awesome.
or tortoises, I guess, because the like these African tortoises get really big, and
Uh-huh.
got to wait until they're certain like 2 years old. You can tell they're male or female, and we're gonna get them, and then and I got this pond with like a waterfall. I guess they can they don't need the like that. I want to get these other little turtles that can like dive and get some koi or something. I'm gonna just get some stuff. But I want to, yeah, just create this land that's like all, natural. You can just, there'll be things to do. You can just walk around, pull weeds,
Hmm.
pick vegetables, pick fruits,
Uh-huh.
do, I think that people will actually enjoy coming here. And I want to create a place that it's like, it could also be for anybody that has an income, whether it's, um, because this focus will be like, yeah, when we're all kind of retirement age and stuff. I have no money for me in retirement, but and I haven't worked long enough to ever pay taxes into Social Security or nothing. But I think I can just create a lifestyle that doesn't need anything, and then people can come here and live here. Basically, if they have an income, they can actually save money here. Like I've got one friend here
Hmm.
that's come here. Like if you can make money, or in his case, he doesn't have it, he can make money teaching online as well. I can put him in
Yeah.
somewhere. It can be a place somebody can come, but you can make money if you've got income because it's basically cost free here, you know,
Right.
and that's kind of what I want
You're
to.
living off the land. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Hmm.
to create something like that, I think people will that would be valuable. I mean, it would be, for, and then there'd be some people that want to that don't want to work on the land or something. Yeah, then they could throw some money down instead if I just want to sit back and
I
relax.
just want to chill out. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, well, okay, then
Check out
that's
the
that.
jungle for a little while. Yeah.
Yes. So I just want to have this, and then who knows? We're going. I'm watching my mom, and she's got dementia, and it's getting worse. I don't like using the term worse because it's getting more. I mean, more. She's more dementia than before, but it's like it's not. I
Hmm.
mean, that word, just the word dementia sounds like demented. It's just basically it's actually I mean I just look at it as just her memory doesn't. She just doesn't remember anything, but she's present when she's here. She's always so happy to see me.
Oh,
Uh,
well, that's
that
good.
that'll end at some point, but that'll probably be closer to the end.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna,
Yeah,
I
I mean
had,
this.
I dealt with it with my grandma, and it
Yeah,
was really,
so
I
that's
wouldn't wish it on anybody.
yeah. It's that yeah that would be. I mean, like I mean, the sad thing now is that she doesn't. I see her once a week. She's about an hour and a half away. I talk to her every day on video, and then
Hmm.
but she doesn't really know how to use her phone anymore. She gets confused, so I have somebody else
Yeah.
call. So I talk to the video, but every time she talks to me on the video, she thinks it's been months. Every time I see her in
Uh-huh.
person, but she's so happy to see me,
Hmm.
and stuff. And I'm considered. But when she was living here, she wasn't actually. She's actually better there
Hmm.
at because she's got lots of people to play with. She always does activities and stuff. And I don't actually think she's sitting there missing me, but every time I see her, it's like that. But then
It's
when I
like
go,
seeing you all over new,
yeah,
like it's been months to
yeah,
her. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
But
So
it's
yeah,
kind of a cool. It's kind of a cool thing too. I mean, in a way, I mean,
yeah,
it's cool to live like that to get to, a reunite, seeing somebody for having. Because when
and
she's
having
living here, she
those
didn't treat
feeling
me like that.
the joyfulness every
Yeah, yeah, she
time. Yeah,
didn't have that when she
nice.
was here. She was a little
Uh,
negative and it was getting kind of out of hand as far as like
hmm.
she thought I was drugging her, all kinds of weird shit.
Right. Oh yeah,
Felt
day to
trapped.
day.
She felt
Hmm.
trapped and she felt, she,
Right.
she wasn't happy here. I know, and she wants to move back here. And I always tell her, well, you have a room here because we built the room for her and everything. And I
Hmm.
mention it and I'll talk about it. And then I just kind of go on. I have this whole thing that just kind of explain it, let her know that she is welcome. I don't want her to feel trapped.
Yeah,
But I know that if she were here, if she does want
she
to come
wouldn't
here,
leave.
and then one time I said, okay, and I showed up, okay, I'm gonna take you back, and she didn't want to leave. So it's like, there's no way, however she feels in the moment, she'll express it in a way that's how she feels and has been feeling for a long time. But then I realized that
Mhm.
she's actually only
Mhm.
talking about how she feels at this very moment, and
In the moment. Yeah.
it's not
Mhm.
actually that. It's not like she felt this way for a long time. She just
Yeah,
she
she's
said it
not
felt that
sitting
way for a
there
long
going
time because
like,
that's
"You left me here," and
yeah.
no,
So
she's just like, "Oh, I see you. I want to be with you." And
yeah, and then when I leave, she forgets that I was there, and she goes.
uh-huh, yeah,
She's got a wonderful community there, and yeah, her. I mean,
and
it's
being around a lot of more people, like out on your property, it's just you and the family. So
yeah, yeah,
being around a lot more people is way better for
yeah,
people with dementia. They
yes.
seem uh, enjoy themselves better. It seems like, or interacting
Absolutely.
with others.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, yeah. There's different people, different. There's some
Yeah.
old people there that have no issue. They're just old and want to retire, and it's kind of
Uh-huh.
cool place. So there's some regular, quote
Hmm.
unquote, regular
Yeah.
old
So
people.
yeah.
Then there's some
Uh-huh.
that are disabled or something. They need help.
Or
They need to
dementia.
be fed or pushed on wheelchairs. So you got a variety of
Right.
people. And then yeah, she had her boyfriend. I might have mentioned that last time. He unfortunately left. He back to California. I think
Uh,
actually his ex-wife took him. She might have been jealous of my mom.
uh,
I don't know why they were divorced. She's a Malaysian woman, and she was
uh,
in Malaysia for a while, and she's taking care of him kind of, and is responsible for his things. But it was kind of weird. They were doing actually kind of well together, and
uh-huh.
popped up, took him away, moved him to
Uh,
California, which I know would be way more expensive in a facility there,
uh-huh.
you know, um,
Right.
compared to
Yeah.
here, everything. So I don't know.
Yeah, I recently just
Unhealthy.
talking about this. I recently just saw a clip of there's like I think it's in Japan, a restaurant where they intentionally get like they don't intentionally get the orders wrong, but like I forget like 75% of their orders are wrong. And it's because they hire nothing but people with like dementia and Alzheimer's
Oh yeah,
to take the orders and
yeah,
like basically be the waiters and the
yeah,
waitresses. So they
uh,
they take the order and everybody knows when they go there you're gonna get your order taken by somebody that's not gonna remember.
yeah,
You're gonna get your order wrong, but they do it
yeah,
anyways. And it seems like the people that are taking, the people with
yeah,
the dementia. I know it's a video,
yeah.
but they just look so happy, like
Oh
they're
yeah,
interacting and
yeah,
talking with everybody,
yeah,
and then it shows statistics like this really helps them, and they
yeah,
get a
yeah,
lot out of it, and the customers seem to enjoy it.
yeah.
Like,
That's
so I thought that
that.
was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. I feel like yeah, if you get a well, I mean that one's kind of funny because yeah, actually have to do so. I think about like what are the things that you can do repetitively that are actually productive, and to me it'd be gardening. But that's why I just
Hmm.
if I have dementia on my land, I'll just wander my land and but I won't do the same thing because like my mom does the same thing over and like because she does because she's
The
you
schedule, yeah.
repeat the things that you did your whole
Hmm.
life basically. So that's why I'm trying to program myself now. I want to get in routines that are productive to like one of her things. She's very organized, or she always had been very organized. And before she leaves, she kind of look through her purse, maybe, but now she'll take everything out if we're leaving, and then she'll put it back in, and then she doesn't know that she did, so she'll do that she'll keep doing it
Again.
and
Hmm.
getting these cycle, kind of like a meth addict, which I'm familiar with as myself and
Hmm.
being with other people, like trying to
Or
get
yeah,
go, like
or
they're gonna
an
pick up. I know
autist
you're high,
or
but I need my shit, and let's go. And they're over here just fucking tweaking out with their bag and unpacking, packing,
yeah, like
putting
you've
cigarette. Like,
taken
come on,
stuff in and
motherfucker,
out like
I'm
seven
fucking mind
times,
get.
dude.
So,
Yeah.
so it's
It's
like
there.
I mean, so I figure like if I get it, so I'm trying to get in my routine. It's not. I might be giving myself dementia because I'm kind of like fantasizing about it. Like, wow, wouldn't it be if I
Oh
just
yeah,
wander
like,
around my
oh well,
land
I've trained my brain to have dementia.
to just yeah to just walk around my land, and like if I see weeds, I pull weeds. If I see a
Mm,
branch kind of in the way, I cut it. So it's just like I prune the tree, but I'm not doing the same. I'm not going to prune the same. I don't think I would prune the same tree. I'm programming a man to see when something's out of place, and the jungle grows so quickly. There's
uh,
always new weeds to pull and new
always something.
things.
Hmm.
So I could just wander the land, and I've got fruit to pick and eat. Those type of things seem like I mean, I'm not gonna. I don't want to create an area that I get stuck in these traps, and then that's annoying to people, and I don't want to like annoy. If my son kind of, I want him to, he might have to help. with some, make sure things are set up. But I want to create a thing that he wouldn't have to just make sure I've got water or something. That's what I was
Right. Yeah. Just
whatever needs to come here. I mean, I
automate
am
you. Yeah. Yeah.
planning to
That
make
you're
a
trying
filtering
to
system, but
automate yourself in case you get dementia, where you
yeah,
just
that's
automate.
actually, yeah, I'm trying to automate my land. And then it would even be more fun. Like I said, have people come here. They might have
Uh-huh.
dementia too. They might come here and stay. Um, who knows? I might have, so yeah, you talked about that compound. I might 2040 plus, I might get a compound. There may be people that are just kind of like, hey, I can live like this and just,
Yeah.
who knows? It would be fun to just be old and just shoot the shit and kind of,
And yeah, chilling out. Hmm.
yeah. And then who knows what this area will look like then. We're deep in the, I love this. I've got like a perfect land. I mean, we're looking and then finally you have to just do this leap of faith and buy the land. And we didn't
Hmm.
know, there's always things that could afterwards, you might have buyer's remorse. It actually turned out everything was better. One
Once
thing,
you got on it, yeah. Once you're there for a little bit and you kind of
then
see the lay of the
yeah.
land and everything, you kind of, yeah. Then you're like, yeah, we got a steal.
We did because for me the best part is that we're two rivers connect. We're at this
Uh-huh.
part, and the only way in, there's only one way in. The only way there would be an outlet would be if you had a bridge across one of these
Go
rivers, which
across the
is
river,
good.
yeah.
So it's like nobody's, you get no passerbys. It's
Mhm.
only here. You got to come all the way through the village. So it's like if anybody were to home invasion, unless you came on the river, it would be good. If you wanted to attack me, or like a home invasion, it would be better to come on the river. But
From the river,
that's
yeah.
kind of,
Because if you're going through the village, everybody sees you and
yeah, yeah,
knows.
yeah. There's no way to
They'll
get to
let
me
you know
without
before they even get to
dogs.
you.
Yeah, there's dogs. That's what I feel like. Yeah, yeah. Unless there were, yeah, the river would be the way. But one river's like a major river, a big one. The other one's small. During the summer, it kind of gets that one's like a small
Small trickle,
tributary that
yeah.
comes into the thing or something. I'm always thinking about, yeah, if there, how would people invade? Is like I feel like I would have time before
Yeah, to
and then
bug out.
go up
You need
I'd go up this river because yeah, one of the rivers is just like it's kind of leads to jungle. So I mean, yeah, that would be a way to come. I mean, yeah, I mean Myanmar is crazy right now. Though we do have some issues there. I mean, Myanmar before Ukraine, Myanmar is going on. It started to get some. Actually, I felt like it was overshadowed. It was actually I would get some things on mainstream media would cover it. Now nobody, but even actually alternative, nobody's covering it. I don't know. Nobody.
Yeah, I
It's
haven't heard
so
anything
it's
about
such a
them in a
big deal. It's
while.
been going on for like, it was a military coup. There had been a military coup, and then there was another one, and then and then, I mean, it's all out like civil war, and but they already overcame this one like a military rule, and they're fighting back, and they're with the
Red Wolves.
I mean, the people are winning. The upper. I mean,
Wolves.
there are all these different factions, all these different minority groups that live in the mountains,
Mhm.
and like I'm kind of close to those mountains, and some of them are coming over. So that is an issue in Thailand because, and then you got these these kind of military minded people. They could try to cause, and they could get mad at the Thai government maybe and stimulate something. So that's a little bit of a concern because we also
Yeah.
have some coups, but ours are usually more organized and accepted. Kind of people tend to, when there's a military coup here, there's some pushback, but it seems to flow pretty well. And
Yeah.
Myanmar, for whatever reason, yeah, it just
It's just always dirty there. Yeah, it just goes bad.
people had, yeah. So all these, I mean, it's crazy. I watched some documentary about some of it, and I mean, they're doing like some just guerrillas. I mean, but I mean, they're making homemade grenades out of, I mean, and they're attacking like I don't, I mean, the military is funded by somebody's funding them. I don't, could be China, could be the US. I don't know.
Yeah.
Russia, somebody that's got proper
The
military.
money.
They've got
Mhm.
helicopters, they've got missiles, they've got rocket launchers. I mean, they've got real military weapons, and these people are
Uh,
coming with like homemade
Homemade.
grenades and stuff. But
Mhm.
they're winning. They're taking over these. They took over every time. They're like, we took over this post. I'm like, what? How? I mean,
Uh,
it's
yeah,
crazy.
it seems, yeah, it's funny how like all these military, big military machines just get their asses handed to them by
Yeah,
guerrillas.
yeah, yeah. No, that's what's going on too. Yeah,
Vietnam,
yeah,
Vietnam, they
yeah,
kicked
yeah.
America's ass pretty much. We had to leave
Yeah.
there. Like, okay,
I
I
mean,
guess that didn't work out.
yeah. I mean, I see that shit in Gaza too, and I don't
Mhm.
like that's. It's not about. I mean, there's everyone's focused on the fact that I mean, it's terrible looking at, okay, well, these people are getting, I mean, the point is that is that Hamas is I from my perspective, it looks like they're fucking up the Israelis. I mean, and the Israelis are. I don't think anybody cares about the Palestinian people. Hamas doesn't care about them, and they are using them as human shield.
No,
But also, the Israelis don't care about them, and don't care
yeah,
if they have to kill them to get to Hamas,
yeah,
and they can't get to
yeah,
Hamas. And
and they
so,
seem to
so,
be
so it's
happy
that bad.
doing
I,
it too.
I mean, everybody. It's like everybody. Like those yeah, the people, Palestinians are at the worst situation to be in.
Uh-huh.
Their military that is, or the military that's on their side is against them, and the Israeli, and they're just absolutely in
Yeah,
the middle. But
in the
the
middle of
thing
it.
that's is like, I mean, I think the reason Israelis are doing it is because they can't beat them, and that's the only way to beat them. But they still aren't, even with that, even that, like they still can't. So it's like, this is ugly. This is bad. This is not.
Yeah,
This is a bad. This is a bad. This is not.
yeah,
This is
yeah.
not going to
It's
go down. And when it's all over,
unfortunately,
people are going to be held accountable, hopefully. But I
yeah,
mean,
I doubt it.
I,
People
I would
aren't
like
held accountable.
everybody. I mean, I want
War criminals,
all.
when are war criminals
Yeah,
ever held accountable?
no,
Not in my
exactly.
lifetime.
I mean, to
Not
me,
in my
they're the
lifetime.
same. Yeah, I don't. I see. I mean, the Israeli forces and Hamas is equally just
Are the same. They're
disgusting. Yeah,
like,
they're just.
is it doesn't Israel fund them?
Yeah, no, they literally. Yeah,
They
yeah,
fund
yeah.
Hamas.
Yeah, yeah, no,
It's
they're. I
such
mean, yeah,
a
they're. It's just
situation.
to me, yeah, it's that. It's
It's the
military
same.
against the people. You know, what I mean, and
Uh-huh.
it's yeah, it's just it's the team. It's not about countries and teams and I mean, and I think there's a lot of Israelis that are against their, and
Hmm.
they were already in protest when that happened, and I mean,
Yeah.
it's just I do, and that's the positive thing. I do feel like that could come out of this is that everybody's uh yeah, there is this military, and they are these, yeah, I mean, what are these, all these high tech weapons gonna do on, if the people are just like, you guys are the bad one, and we can all come together as just like this,
Yeah.
these
Eventually, hopefully. Hmm.
yeah. So I mean, I could see something like that happening, and I mean, it'd be nice, yeah, if somehow, yeah, who know, I don't know how it's gonna play out in America, but I feel like I mean, I feel like they, yeah, they're to there has to be some embrace. I mean, there's obviously bad people coming across the border, but there's probably also a lot of people that we should try to like make some sort of coalition that whenever shit goes down, that they probably, I'd say the majority of them probably would like to team up with American militias to fight whatever. You know what I mean? I mean, like
Well,
it
yeah. Well,
has to be.
I'm kind of, yeah. There's a catch 22 with that too, because if you have nothing but foreigners defending you, how easy would it be for the government to just turn those foreigners onto the people, against the
Yeah,
people?
and yeah, that's
Because
yeah,
American military, it's going to be really hard to say, oh, you need to kill your neighbor
yeah,
because they said something wrong. You
yeah,
know, you need to kill your neighbor.
yeah.
But if you get a bunch of foreigners
Oh
in the
yeah,
military, hey, go
and
kill
especially if those foreigners have,
that guy is.
but especially if those foreigners have like, there's all it's gonna take is, and I mean, you can get video of anybody doing anything. You can get, I mean, like real videos, and even without the AI, there are going to be people who kill. You know, I'm sure there'll be an incident where if they want to make it blow it up like a George Floyd thing
Mm-hmm.
you know, an American shooting somebody that is trespassing on their land, just fed up with
Mm-hmm.
it, shooting them, and they can totally spin that to all the people coming across the border. Look, the Americans hate you. You know what I mean? I mean, just
Uh-huh.
that totally
Well,
George Floyd type, play it out like, yeah,
yeah,
all, you know, all people are, and just totally vilify
they're against you. Yeah.
Americans that are
Mm-hmm.
legitimately trying to defend their land. I mean, and then
Yeah.
it can go the
Well, there's,
opposite way. We've seen that where you've got
yeah.
some. I mean, I feel like like the just the this little hoodlum hitting the New York cop on the street or whatever, kicking him, and
Uh-huh.
totally like, dude, that's so fucking, like, how could you let, like, that shit so unacceptable? But you get that, that's going to anger the Americans against all
Mm-hmm.
these people,
Uh-huh.
and then so now you're going to get
Yeah, it's they do it
you're
on
gonna
both
get an
sides.
American killing actually a good person that has this heartwarming story, and they're gonna boom, they're
Mm.
gonna
They're
blast
going
that
to use
story.
that.
You know what I mean? It's gonna be this, that they traveled all this way, and it'll actually could even be true, but you're gonna get people,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they'll easily be able to spark something
Yeah. There's a case
to come
going
up
on right
organically.
now here in Arizona where this, I think he's in his 70s or 80s, and he lives in a community around here, and some illegal immigrants got onto his property, and they did a home invasion. They were invading him,
Yeah,
like, and he killed one of them. Now he's in court defending his life because they're about to send his ass to jail for life for killing somebody on his own property that was invading his own home
yeah,
because they're defending the illegal immigrant.
yeah.
So
I mean,
that's
yeah,
the story right there.
the whole thing
And
is just
so
to
they're
rile
trying to
people up.
they're trying to pass a bill now. The GOP is trying to pass a bill here to where it'll protect people that are protecting the property, like to where so like that guy won't get in
I
trouble for defending
Yeah,
his own
I mean, I
property.
thought that
But then
already
that
was.
gives
Isn't that
that's going to
already
give
in
a
the
bunch of these
Constitution? Like they have to like
right, but
that's what all these laws are. That all these they're
there's
like,
extra laws on top. It's just all
yeah, it's just
bullshit
like
on bullshit.
underlining. Okay, I'm going to write this law that underlines something that was
A
always
law,
a law,
yeah,
but
but
now I'm
it
just
has to
going to
be a law
restate
again
that it is a law. Yeah,
because it's not being enforced because this guy is in jail. But
yeah,
but all this is going to do is just reinforce into like the GOP's head or a Republican or whatever you want to
yeah,
call him, like
yeah,
gun toting guy, like
yeah,
oh this is my land, I'm gonna just shoot anything that moves,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and who knows.
yeah, yeah,
Catch 22 with everything, and they herd us around like cattle. I say it all the time. They herd us around like cattle.
oh yeah,
They want us to look over here, so we'll look over there. They want us to
yeah,
look
yeah,
over here, we'll look over there.
yeah.
You go
That's what I
here, go
think. That's what, yeah, like this border thing. What else? Like, it's too in your face to not be what it is. I mean, like, there's more to it. It's actually it's either it's worse, probably. It's probably worse than we're expecting on some level, but then
hmm
it might backfire because then I look at it, it's like, I mean, I, I mean, look, I mean, like, yeah, look at the just that all their plans are shitty. I mean the way, I mean, whatever simulations they have and think tanks they're using are so
hmm
far they've been a disaster. So whatever plan they have, I think is going to fall. I think it is. They probably do have some plan. I don't think they're going to pull it off. I think that
Yeah,
it's gonna, I feel like
I
it's
think
going to backfire.
they're accelerating it too much, and they're making mistakes. So that's why I'm hoping, like, yeah,
Yeah,
they're unloading all this AI on us, and like I said, I'm hoping that people are just gonna be like, this is bullshit,
yeah.
and then there goes their propaganda
Yeah.
machine.
And
We just
then, but it's going to be a weird state because you've got both. You've got the, I don't know, type one, type two, like false, negative, like,
mm,
you've got to say, okay, is this fake? But then at the same time, then you've got the plausible deniability of something
uh-huh
that when shit does go down. Now, I mean,
does mhm.
because there's like what was it well, I don't know all the politicians' name, and I hate getting too political. I think it's Chuck
Right.
Schumer, maybe, or I don't
Right.
even talking to Biden or something, talking about and you see him at. I mean, now they're like zoomed out and could lip read it, I guess, or they could hear it, or they had a special microphone that could up his voice and hear it. He's basically just saying this is shit that we'd expect. It's just like, yeah, I've got this. Don't worry, I'm a pro. There's like I can,
Mhm.
I can, like just talking about how they
Spin
can
it this way.
run the bills and do, I mean, there's
Uh-huh.
just shady shit where, and it was like clear as day that he's admitting to just being able to control how the bills get passed
Manipulate. Yeah.
and create the divides and stuff. And but then it's like, then yeah, I mean, those things come out, then they can just say, I'm actually surprised. I haven't heard anybody make that claim yet that it's not real. Like there's been a lot of, I mean, leaked tapes recently, a lot of stuff coming out,
hmm
and I'm like, I'm surprised nobody's there's all kinds of shit of Europeans, leaders about Ukraine and all this stuff. Nobody's made that claim yet. Why not? I mean,
Right.
how I mean, I'm actually waiting. That's going to be the next big thing is something is going to be something accused and somebody just saying it's AI. I haven't heard that yet.
Oh
Have you?
yeah. Oh yeah. I'm waiting for that to
That's
happen.
the big one. That's I'm waiting for that one. Like,
Yeah. Like, oh, that's a deep fake. It wasn't real.
Yeah,
you
and
know,
then that
in a
once it's
court or
said,
whatever.
I can't prove it. What are you going to have? A ministry of approval? I mean, the ministry
Yeah.
of deep fake. I mean, I'm sure there are
Right.
programs to
Yeah.
determine if it
Yeah.
is
And
or not,
then
but
and then we're not going to be able
each
to trust
program
them.
is the
Yeah.
one that,
They're going to be like, "Hey, trust us." And no,
yeah,
you're the ones lying to us.
yeah.
You
I
know?
mean, we're
Like
so
fact
close to
checkers.
that. We're so close to
Yeah.
that, which is
Uh-huh.
what you're saying. Like we don't know if it's real or not. Uh,
Uh-huh.
we haven't. I mean, we're real
It,
close to just having
it's
that.
going to be interesting.
We,
Yeah, how
we're
we
just gonna,
react to all that. Because I don't know, man. You can only be bullshitted enough to where eventually you're just like, all right, I'm tired of being bullshitted.
yeah,
Like, I
yeah.
hope, I would
And
hope at some point
and we're
society
at
would
the
be like,
point that nothing would even be that surprising now, like as a, whatever it is, like Epstein tapes. It's like it's been good. I mean, there's honestly nobody that could. There's nothing that would surprise you. I mean, there's
right.
nothing. And whenever whatever does come out, it's nobody's gonna care because I would expect any world leader would okay could be, and if it doesn't, and then there's still that okay, just because he's there he's this or that. I mean, it's like it
Mhm.
doesn't even matter, but at the same time it's uh I mean it should matter, but there's
Well, it'll get memory hold. Like that's why they wait
yeah,
so long. Like, oh, they're gonna release the Epstein list like 3 years later when
yeah, there's like and
when
then
it
when
gets
even when you
dropped,
hear it you'll
nobody
be like
cares.
I thought I
And
already
then
knew
you're
this
like,
because
why did it take that long? And like, I don't believe any of these. Like,
yeah,
this is just all and my thought was like, oh, this is just the people that they don't mind getting rid of. Like,
yeah,
they fell out of favor or whatever. You're not going to get any of the real monsters.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You're only
yeah,
going to get the people, they'll just give us, a couple of people like the Nuremberg trials back in the day. They didn't get any of the real monsters. They just
yeah,
got some of the middle management people, just a few of them. And, oh,
yeah,
we hung them and that appeased the bloodlust of the
oh, yeah,
mob, and then
yeah,
everything's good, but
yeah,
the real monsters are still operating.
yeah,
They're
absolutely,
still
yeah,
they're getting infiltrated into all the major governments of the world.
yeah,
The
oh
Nazis.
yeah, oh
They're
yeah,
getting infiltrated. They didn't lose.
yeah, yeah,
They just infiltrated all the governments, and oh, we just hung a few of them, and now everybody's appeased, and we won, yay!
yeah,
No, you didn't. You didn't win. You just been played. And
yeah,
that's how I felt with the Epstein list. I'm like,
yeah,
this is bullshit. They're not going to give us anybody of substance that is really gonna make you feel better about the situation, but unless you just take whatever they give you and you're just happy with it, yay, we
yeah,
won, we stopped it.
yeah.
No, you didn't. It's still operating, and now it's even worse because now it's in the shadows, thinking
And
that it's
they're probably waiting for AI
there's no.
to then there's plausible deniability on anything that comes out. I mean, so it'll probably leak. Something will probably leak. They won't release it. It'll be leaked, and if something's leaked, then it's suspicious of okay, where did it come from? And then it's
Yeah,
just
where did it leak
we
from?
don't
Yeah.
know. So
Yeah, I
I
can't
think we're already there,
recommend
right?
it.
That place that you're talking about. I mean, it's already. I don't.
Uh-huh.
I'm not. Nothing seems like.
Yeah, and I think, it's just going to take a little bit of time going through that and then realizing, okay, this is all bullshit. Let's quit feeding the monster and,
Yeah.
go back to telephones. I mean, or
Yeah.
Zoom calls like this are
Yeah.
fine, doing
Yeah. I'm
this,
only doing this 2040. Then I'm doing. Hopefully, code service still
communicating
works.
is
I want to do.
good.
Yeah.
And like there's some people say like, oh, I think the internet was a mistake for them, like it got out of control, like they didn't realize uh, how much it would backfire on them. Because I do think the internet was good for waking people up to the bullshit, but at the same time, I think it's also really good at keeping a lot of people asleep to it too.
It is.
And
It is.
uh,
But
I think it's catch 22. I don't
it
think
is.
it's
Yeah.
it's
But
neutral.
yeah, they don't. I don't think they have control of it. I mean, I think they're
I think
always
they could
kind of
shut it.
one step. I wouldn't say necessarily one step ahead, but they're definitely at the forefront of everything. But it is moving quickly. They're trying to control it, and they do
Mhm.
well with it. But they do sometimes things get out of hand, and then
Oh yeah.
they're able to. I mean, they've got teams to deal with those situations,
Mhm.
but they do constant. I mean, they do break out. I mean, with and that's another thing with like yeah conversations with you know on a just a lower level of communication that it's kind of a way to I feel more connected in a way because I get in my podcast and you know that's AI serving. I mean, I listen to new podcasts sometimes and but you know they usually recommended to me or they why did they pop
Hmm.
up? I mean, maybe I searched for something and it popped up. I mean, no matter how you search for something, there is some underlying feed that got
That's
you there.
feeding you. Yeah,
And
it's uh-huh.
I mean, and that's why I like writing down specific things. I mean, No Agenda, I'm gonna check that out. And
Uh-huh.
Iron Giant too. Good at that.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah. So it's like uh, that's what I feel like too. That I actually yeah, I visualize this place like by me, and I might even do it before 2040. Actually, who knows if at the rate we're going, it could be 20. I might do 2030 instead of 2040. But right now, I'm my eyes set on 2040. Where then
Hmm.
what's going to be fun? I actually want to do is have conversations, but I'm going to be completely disconnected. But then when people come here, they'll maybe fill me in on what's going on, and then but I'll have a different filter on because I'll just be taking what other people say. So I'll have to make connections in a way that nobody makes connections because right now a lot of our connections are kind of made for us. Even even with the people. I mean,
Hmm.
I can't help that when you're listening to other people feed you the news. Now I'll still get. I mean, everybody's had some influence by other people, but still, I just feel like it would be more organic to just talk to people and not have anything I won't know. Oh, you
Like
don't know,
coming down
I
from the
won't know.
CIA
You'll
pipeline.
have to tell me everything. I won't know at all any of this border. Wait, okay, tell me what, you'll have to,
Yeah, all the
kind of force
outside.
you to, whoa, I got to really back up and and then it'll kind of help you kind of realize what you know. And then I'll ask different people and I'll have to I'll piece it together in a different way, but it might actually be a different way to access truth is just like that's like a collective unconscious almost like
Yeah,
able to make these weird um
connections,
connections but through
but
only
through
human.
organic,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
being fed from like a CIA pipeline.
yeah,
You know,
exactly, yeah, yeah, even though each person I talk to might have if they're getting
some
there
of that
that way.
influence, but
But
yeah.
more and more people might do that. And I mean, you think about it like in the past, I mean, it was weird. Like, I mean, think about like ancient Greeks and stuff, how like they'd fight these major wars, but like, and they'd have like, I mean, the way that information traveled, I mean, homing pigeons and notes and people,
Hmm.
running ahead of the troops and stuff, trying to, I mean, but like then it was just like these murmurs would go through the cities, and I'm sure there's all kinds of misinformation then too,
Oh
like,
yeah, oh
right?
yeah.
And get it through the pipeline, but I feel like in some ways, I mean, it would be a different. The truth would somehow.
Be
I
cleaner.
feel like truth is
I think it would be, yeah, like yeah, there'd be some
um,
misinformation, but it'd be easier to just
filtered.
dismiss that misinformation. It's like a cleaner form of info
Yeah,
than like all we get so much info now.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
So much of it is garbage,
Yeah,
and it's just coming at us all the time. Whereas like, back in the day, the word of mouth info, yeah, there's going to be a lot of gossip. There's going to be misinformation there, but you're being fed way less,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it's easier to kind of digest
yeah.
and kind of throw out the stuff that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and the shit that gets to you is more likely going to be true because it's if it
Yeah,
wasn't it's going to be more likely to be true and more relative. I guess that's
relative to, yeah, for sure,
to
yeah,
this
because
situation. For instance,
local, yeah.
if there were some, I mean, imagine when the plague broke out, that probably that information was passed, like it would start scaring you, but you'd start hearing about it. Maybe that sounds weird, and then all of a sudden it's getting closer. Okay, people are dying. I mean, you would kind of so if there were some sort of pandemic with something, I you wouldn't like it wouldn't I COVID would have never got to me.
Hmm.
It would have maybe in big cities that things are
Yeah.
traveling around, and then but so it would be a big deal to certain areas, but it wouldn't trickle people living out in the country. My, oh yeah, I think I heard something about that, but it wouldn't change unless
Hmm.
people started, unless it were getting closer. Like, and same with the war, if there was an invasion, there's going to be invasions move a little slower than one person. I mean, you would probably hear about it a little sooner, but if you're relying on internet, then it's like, boom, this is happening right now. Ah, and
Hmm.
freak you out. And you got to go. So I feel like, yeah, the information that
Mhm.
gets to you is going to be relevant. I guess that was the point. Yeah.
Yeah, way more relevant. Yeah,
And local. Right now, it's like, yeah, I mean, why do we care so much about all of these issues that, everything?
oh,
I mean,
yeah. Yeah,
it's so easy to get, I mean,
bogged down by it all. Yeah, and overwhelmed, and what can I do? I can't do nothing.
yeah, yeah,
Well, just work on yourself. Make sure you're right. Yeah, that's the best that anyone can do. Just make sure you're doing good. You work on you're working on yourself. And if everybody did that, took self responsibility, and things would
yeah,
be a lot better.
yeah,
It's easier to worry about everything else, everybody
yeah,
else, and everything else,
yeah.
instead
And
of
it is,
worrying about
or,
yourself.
I mean, yeah, care. I mean, obviously yourself, your family, and then, your community. And I mean, there
Yeah, it ripples,
yeah, it
it
ripples
ripples
out
back
how
out. Uh-huh.
important somebody is, but all, if everyone's kind of sphere of care
Influence.
is
Hmm.
you're all connected. I mean, if everybody has that mentality, and then if you're a ill-minded person, that you're going to get recognized. I mean, that's kind of like more of
Uh-huh.
a
Yeah.
tribal thing. You'll get, I mean, ostracized. I mean, so
Yeah.
you're gonna care more about these people, and then, so yeah, big cities are nice. So you're not in a big city though, and you're in a
No,
close
no, we're
community, so that's nice. I mean, like,
yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
So
if
it's
shit
small
goes
enough.
down and you're in and you're cool with your neighbors, I think that's important. If you're not cool with your
Yeah.
neighbors, like, go over, get, make them some cookies, knock on the door or something. I'm just saying, like, I mean, it's probably a good time to just kind of get close to people around you, and
Yeah, that are around. Yeah, make it
yeah,
local. Go local. Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
and
Yeah.
yeah, it could come back. Yeah, I mean, we're almost going, yeah, back that way, because
Yeah. Yeah, and it, in progress feels, and and for a lot of people it wouldn't feel like progress. It'll feel like going backwards, but really I don't know. It feels like maybe we just took the wrong turn, and then
yeah,
we realized, oh, we took the wrong turn, so we're just gonna go back
yeah,
that way, get
yeah,
back on the
yeah,
straight
yeah,
and
yeah,
level.
yeah, yeah,
And so you're
yeah,
still kind of going forward, but you're you're what's the word?
like
Not
detour. I don't know.
yeah, like you're just more not prepared, but like more, instead of pushing forward in the wrong direction, and then once you start going in that direction so long, you feel like it's like a cost fallacy.
Yeah. Oh, I've
Cost
done that. I've
fallacy
done that.
kind
I've been lost before.
of, oh, I'm just gonna keep going.
I've come this far.
uh
I've actually done it and blusted through and fucking made it, but it is still, I've
yeah,
been
but you
better
never
off
know.
turning around and going back. But like, I was eventually, I've also just gone so far that I better turn around. I should have turned around a
Yeah,
couple hours ago. Literally, I mean, I've done that deep and shit. But
right.
yeah, I definitely have that thing. But I think, yeah, everybody does. I mean, yeah, it's hard to cut those losses, but
Yeah. It's just human nature.
yeah, yeah. But as humanity, I think we can, yeah, no. So I mean, yeah, that's another thing too, is like, yeah, if I mean, I do believe there is like a collective unconscious, and I think it is. I mean, we could say, people are waking up type of thing, and it's like that. I mean, those things. I think many people are coming to those conclusions on their own.
Hmm.
And I think the majority of people come to that conclusion on their own. There's always going to be, some people trying to hack the system or take advantage of
Oh,
people,
yeah.
and stuff. But I mean, I guess it has to just be realized by people, not professed. I don't know. I mean, maybe, I mean, it may
Yeah,
take,
like yeah, I just had a guy. I'm always posting about voting and how stupid it is, and I had a guy that follows me. He comments every now and again. He usually has some pretty good insight, and he was saying like, instead of telling people not to vote, tell them to vote, because the only way they're gonna figure it out that everything's bullshit is by going through it. So tell them to vote, and
yeah,
eventually they're gonna realize my vote doesn't count. So what am I doing? And I was like, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, that's just not how I'm like,
Yeah.
don't put that evil on me. I don't want to
Yeah.
tell people
I
no.
if I were in America, I'd vote for Dr. Shiva, dude. That guy's so fucking funny though. But I don't he's hella intelligent. I don't do
Oh
you listen
yeah.
to him at all?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I listened to him a
Yeah.
couple times and then it's I mean
Mhm.
he's kind of says the same stuff over and over. He's so funny because I actually out of everybody I would actually like Bobby Kennedy, and I know we mentioned that last time, you're like Kennedy, but it's
Mhm.
like I I just think that would be I don't know, just I think it would be, but it's like say I'm not voting tonight. I have to pay so much money to get votes
To
to do
even
it
get
anyway,
there.
and I know it's
Mhm.
not. Yeah, it's whoever's going to be, but I don't know. Shiva just cracks me up because then somebody asked him like, what are you going to do? He's like, I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to sit in the White House and just keep doing the exact same. I'm going to just keep saying the exact same thing over and over in this
Uh-huh.
podcast that he's saying in the podcast. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to just do it from the White House. I'm not going to do anything like
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, that
It'd
would
be
actually,
fun to see.
yeah,
Yeah. It'd
yeah,
be fun,
yeah.
yeah, to experience and see
And
how that would go.
I don't, he's fucking like, he really is a fucking super genius though, I guess. I listen to him and some of the stuff he
Yeah,
says,
like some
stories
of
he
it,
says, I'm like, what is this guy fucking for real? But
yeah, like
I
he
try to look into
invented,
it. I'm like, this guy's kind of legit, but off
yeah.
his
Uh-huh.
rockers too.
Uh-huh.
Not,
Uh-huh.
not really like, I don't think he's actually, I don't know. I don't know what I think he's like too smart. I don't know what he's really about. I mean, I don't
Exactly.
know what his deal is, but anyway, so I did. I wanted to ask about that. Yeah, who is your like who are your because that's what's interesting about X since I jumped in now. It's not even been a year yet. It's different from Facebook. Facebook are like people that I knew from high school, and most of the people
Right.
I know, some people maybe I don't know, some people I might know, so I don't want to
Acquaintances.
ask
Yeah.
treat them like I
People with
don't know
random.
them. I might know them, and
Right.
then and then but X is like completely. I'm looking at X as I do feel like there it's a weird there's famous people that are posting. That's kind of how the cool kids are able to communicate with each other and like get a direct access and comment on each
Uh,
other. But then there's this other, we're like this other like, if we're like the Greek, we're like, but we're still. I feel like I went from outside of the walls. Now I'm like
well,
inside, but we're like in the stadium watching the elite or in
yeah.
a way, and
Uh-huh.
we kind of have a voice, and we kind of are like we could if we all like talked we could overpower, we could rush the stage.
The
I don't
state.
know.
Yeah.
I don't really
Right.
understand it yet. And so who are your followers? Who are you communicating with? Like I said, I did. I'm starting to like ask people on X to have a podcast with me. I feel like that's where I want to network. I feel like there is like-minded
Yeah.
people
It's.
like me on X
Mhm.
trying to navigate it halfway. I know I did some shady shit with like trying to get people and put paying for to sponsor my posts and stuff. I didn't know. I was just
Uh,
trying to like get out there because first when I
right.
first came on there, it was like, okay, I'm nothing. I need to like get out there a little bit, but then I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
well, whoa. Once I started doing that, then I realized it's bots that I'm attracting. Oh shit, I got bots. And now I'm
Yeah.
trying to delete these bots. I'm like, shit, I should have just went 100% organic, but I think I can get
Uh,
back to that. No, okay, I feel like I'm pretty organic. But
yeah.
then I ask people right away if I have any conversation. I just, will you come on a podcast? And I kind of give them the same spill I did with you. It's like it's a way to just be active
Yeah.
on this. Like let's just say something, have a conversation. Maybe you can articulate what you're doing. It seems like everybody's kind of doing something.
Doing that.
So go ahead and give
Yeah.
me that, Phil. Give
Yeah,
me.
yeah. Most of the people that I associate with, I guess, are podcasters. But I do have a lot of followers that talk to me that are just like normal people. They're not trying to sell anything. They're there to kind of consume content.
Okay.
Um, uh, and and I post stuff that I believe, like I don't, or there's some stuff that it's kind of out there that I think is just interesting, so I'll post it.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, I'm trying to stick in a lane, so I can kind of attract the people that I want to attract,
Yeah.
like my tribe or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Find your tribe, and that's
Yeah.
what I think X is, or Twitter. I don't like calling it X,
Yeah.
but I think that's what it's good for. And yeah, it does give you a lot of good access to people that are, you know, they're just trying to do the same thing. So
Yeah.
I'll see somebody like there's a Union of the Unknowns is a podcast that I've made some clips for, and it's a group of people, like just normal, average,
Wait,
everyday
what of
people.
unknown?
Union of the Unknowns.
Yeah.
They're a good little group of people. They come from all over.
Yeah.
There's like a lady from Australia that's on there, and then a couple of people from America, and I think even the UK. So they're a fun group to talk to. They'll do like a panel type show, 4 or 5 people on it.
Yeah.
So I did that once with them. And then there's other like little groups. There's like the Union of the Unwanted, which is what the Union of the Unknowns were. That's basically where they got their name. The Union of the Unwanted is like Sam Tripoli and
Okay.
uh, a guy named Ricky Varandas. He does the Ripple Effect podcast, which I really enjoy, and uh, I think that'd be a good match for your content. He does a lot of health and mental and
Yeah.
physical type content. He's in that. I really enjoy him. And then there's of course Sam Tripoli. I'm actually going to go see him, and he's doing a show in town
Oh
in
yeah.
a couple of weeks. So I'm actually going to go meet him for the first time in real life. So that's going to be
Yeah.
interesting.
Nice. Oh yeah,
I
because he
print.
yeah, I remember hearing the podcast. He shouted out, yeah, shouted you out. I mean, hey, yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah, so I'm
yeah. No,
excited for that, and I actually
he
made my own T-shirt design, so I'm gonna wear the
oh,
T-shirt there.
oh, nice, nice. I mean,
So
yeah, no, he seems so like man. I mean, he's busy on that, but I mean, he's a content creating master. I mean, I mean,
yeah,
he's yeah,
he's all
nonstop
yeah. Just
comedian,
I think he's
funny,
got
witty.
5 of
Just like wow, like that. He's kind of made me not want to be a podcaster because I'm just like that's I mean I like doing shit all out and I'm
them.
like
Uh-huh.
I don't I'm doing other stuff all out
All out.
this
Yeah.
but I'm gonna continue doing a podcast but I'm like
Uh-huh.
this is not my calling for like I don't expect podcasting to generate income. I
To
do
launch.
think somehow
Launch.
something could, but I still feel like if there were, again, I mean, ideally, I don't even need to teach English is fine. Something might pop out of it where I could shift, but it would have to be more enjoyable than teaching English. And I actually love teaching English, so that's what's kind of nice about it. It's like I'm not gonna have to do anything that I don't want to do if
Mm-hmm.
something presents itself that's more enjoyable than training Chinese spies, which I joke that I'm doing just because their English is
Yeah.
good. By the time I get done with them, man, their English they're so they could pass
Are
as
they?
American dude.
Yeah.
But they're lovely. I mean, I mean, yeah, they're I mean, I can tell because they're overworked and they enjoy. I know that I'm the best. They have they have extra math, extra Chinese, extra history, extra science. They
Uh-huh.
go so hard on them. Tiger Mom all the way. I'm not the whole country like obviously the ones that I have are from families
Yeah.
that are
They're
very
paying.
very
They're the ones that are going to
ambitious
pay money
and
to
yeah
get the
and I know that
tutoring.
I provide the best hour of their week. I can see, well, at least the best hour of their studies. You know,
Well, I'm sure your teaching method is way different than what they're used to, which is
yeah.
would I don't know, I'm assuming, but it seems like it's very regimented
Oh yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
got to be
yeah,
boring as hell, I would think.
yeah, yeah. Oh,
So I'm sure
they're so
you bring some color to their life a little bit,
yeah, yeah,
that hour that you're working with them.
and their parents like it too. So it's a balance of yeah, that they're still getting. I think that's really yeah. All if they can, I mean they're getting their English, they're getting their English grammar. They don't need me for really the academics so much, but they realize yeah, their parents are like I will actually help them on some of their standardized tests and introduce new vocabulary words, but I can tell that that's not they've got their own system
They do
like
that.
to study for the SAT test. Like
Uh-huh.
sometimes I tell them I can help you with the IELTS test, and they it doesn't hurt my feelings that they're going to register in
No, we got their
something that
own
okay good
thing.
take that because that's actually a boring thing. But there is part of a lot of the tests are conversations, so it's really if I can enhance their ability to listen and speak
Conversate. Yeah, that makes it yeah. Uh-huh.
it's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
And that's yeah most of it I do take on some students that are I generally they have to have conversational skills before they get to me but sometimes they're a little weak but I can tell they're really smart they actually know they can read and understand so I'll give them
Uh-huh.
some
They just
read they
need
read
help
it out
keeping
loud
it.
to me and their pronunciation is bad but they actually understand it so I'm like oh, okay this so it I can sometimes get them speaking within just a few months because it's actually everything's there except for that they don't have somebody
Yeah, they
speaking
just need to talk to. Yeah, they just need to
Yeah.
conversate with somebody.
So
Yeah.
it's cool. So yeah, I think it'd be pretty difficult to really to find a, basically someone have to just come up and be like, hey, I'll give you money for what you're doing already right now. You know what I mean? Like, and so in a way, there's could be uh, some,
Who knows what doors can be
yeah,
open,
yeah. And
you know?
when you go into it that way, I think more doors could open because I'm not desperate. Like I don't need,
Yeah, you're not looking, you're just like, I'm here, I'm in the
yeah.
moment, and
And there would
I'm
be,
just trying to talk to people. And then yeah, doors will open for
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
Yeah. I know, yeah, and I need to do more. Like I had to leave I had like a little soundboard and a microphone, but it for some reason it wasn't working on my computer. And then during the move, I was just like, we only had 6 suitcases to, we actually left with less than we moved to Mexico with.
yeah,
We came back
yeah,
with less.
yeah.
I got rid
That's
of a
good
bunch
though.
of,
I mean,
yeah, it is, but yeah, so one of the things that I left was like my little soundboard and microphone.
that was new
So
that
I
you just bought too there while you were there. You bought it or
No, I bought it before I moved there, but like
never
and it was
before?
working, and then it needed like an a driver update or some
Oh,
crap,
sure,
and
yeah,
it just wasn't taking. And then no matter what I did to Google, it was like, you got to download this and download that
oh
and
yeah,
download
yeah.
this, and I was like,
You've
I don't
downloaded
know if I
so
want to
much
be downloading all
spyware
these weird
now.
ass.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. So like whatever. So I left it there, but yeah, I need to. I just need to start talking. Like I'm always nervous when I come on to like a show like this before, which I think that's just natural.
oh yeah, yeah,
And then I'm always pumped up afterwards, like, yeah,
yeah,
man, I need to do it more,
yeah.
But
No,
then,
yeah,
the next day I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that. I don't, like who wants to hear me talk? Like I'm not the best speaker. I think I'm a better writer than I am a speaker. And normally, I don't know, maybe I'm getting a little more used to it because I'm doing it more. But like in the past, like alcohol was a big crutch for me because that
yeah,
was like a liquid personality,
sure,
like, oh, I have a couple drinks. Now I'm Mr. Can't get me to shut up.
yeah,
But before that, it's just like you got to pull it out of me.
hmm,
So I think the more I'm doing these shows, the less they got to pull out of me and the more, but
yeah,
then I ramble and blah, blah, blah. And, you
yeah.
know,
But everybody's got their own speech patterns and stuff, and I like rambling too, especially and that's what's fun to do with the clips. I like making the clips, and you know, I mean, people that if the more you speak and it kind of I think anybody it kind of grows on you too. Like I mean, uh, it's just a style of speaking. I mean, I generally I don't really like clips. I like to just get them because I know that's some things that only people will listen to those, but it kind of gets me out there, and then it might get somebody that want to do it with me, like
uh-huh,
come on, because they saw that they're more likely to see that than actually listen to the podcast because I post the clips, they're not controversial, so I'll post them on Facebook. That Facebook is where the people that I know are
uh-huh,
so that's people I actually know are going to see those, and they know the person maybe I'm talking to, so that kind of makes it more, oh wow, that's cool. Oh, that'd be cool to do or something.
uh-huh,
So it's uh I mean, yeah, but then like you said, I mean, yeah, it does make you, I mean, who wouldn't want to uh kind of like I said, like going back to that law of attraction things, like actually kind of formulate what you want to do, like because most of us want to do something, in a lot of us maybe now there was a theory that somebody said that actually I can kind of see that if you've got like a goal, you shouldn't say it, you should keep it to yourself. I mean, there is that perspective in some ways, but I mean, to me, I think it is a good idea. Not, I mean, kind of to put it out there. Partly, actually, I still do have a spiritual connection with the universe that putting the thought waves out there actually can resonate
hmm.
in the universe,
Oh
but
yeah.
also our physical words could actually land on somebody's ears that literally hears them and makes a physical connection and
Hmm.
actually generates
And
some sort
then
of uh
positive outcome. Yeah.
yeah, some sort of
Hmm.
collaboration or something. So
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So, and like we were saying earlier, it's being proactive.
yeah,
That's a part of the secret that people get caught up on. The law of attraction is well, I did all this. I'm saying all this. I'm changing my inner monologue is not as
Yeah,
negative, and I'm being more appreciative. I'm being grateful. So then it should just all come to me.
yeah,
I don't need to do anything else. And it's like, no, you actually need to put action into it. You know, once you start putting action into it, then the universe kind of sees, okay, you're serious about this.
yeah,
And then,
yeah. And sometimes formulating, it's like this. It's like somebody. I remember somebody tell me like that, like plants can. You should talk to plants because they react to it. But actually, I believe that, but it's not. I don't think they can understand your words. I believe that they understand your emotion and feeling. Like I
your
believe my jungle. When
intention.
I walk around my jungle,
And,
it will help me to speak out loud to my trees. They're not going to hear my words, but they might actually feel my energy that I can
uh,
only project if I formulate it into sentences, just because that's
yeah,
how we are. We weren't always like that, maybe from a long time ago, but because we are such a linguistic creature that sometimes, like, I mean, my wife always sees me talking to myself. She's always catching me. I just today I was, I mean, I like it's getting kind of bad sometimes. Like I'm in public, I was putting the groceries away, and I didn't know she was looking at me, and I was putting it in the back of the trunk and stuff, and I was, oh, I think I was preparing for my opening dialogue with you, and I was,
yeah,
and so I kind of,
yeah, in your head.
I'm
Yeah.
always talking about these things, and then so, but it's actually, I can't fully formulate my thoughts unless I do put them into words. Sometimes it's hard
And
to,
voice them. Yeah.
yeah. So that on that level, that's why I talk to trees out loud. I
Yeah.
don't
Well,
think they can understand me. Just if you
I
see me
think,
talking to
yeah,
trees, I'm not
yeah.
crazy. I'm sending them my love, and
The intention, yeah, I think
it's
they
not
feel
coming
the
from my words yet.
intention and even maybe even like the vibration of your voice.
Yeah,
They might react to,
yeah,
uh,
and that,
with
but those words are going to be. I mean, yes, the vibration of the,
the sound,
yeah,
the
yeah,
mood,
yeah, but and those, yeah,
and the
the whole,
intention that's behind it. I think
yeah,
probably helps.
yeah, it's all, yeah, it's all, yeah. I don't think they understand English.
No, no,
Thailand.
it's
They speak
teaching them
Thai,
English.
obviously.
They speak Thai, right? You got to
Yeah,
teach them
yeah,
English.
yeah. The other, no, I had
Just
another. There's another funny thing that happened about a tree. I have to say, I didn't say it anywhere. It's kind of relevant here. Maybe, it's not relevant here, but it's about trees. It's funny. It's about my land too. It's like there's these seeds that you can roast and eat, and they come from this tree. And we go to this restaurant, and this guy brings them out. It's a little local vegetarian restaurant we eat at, and he's just had these like homemade things just offering to us. Oh, these are really good. I
yeah.
like them. Kind of like, it's not a sunflower seed, it's more like a broad bean or something. But I was
Uh-huh.
asking like, oh, what? And he says, oh yeah, I got them. There's the temple that has a tree there, and then I was like, oh, I wanted the seed, so I was like,
So you can make it, yeah, put one
I
in
can
your,
plant it, but he had roasted them all, and said, oh, but he showed me where they were, and you can get them. But he's like, oh, those trees take 30 years to grow. I'm like,
uh-huh.
perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that's 30 years is exactly when I want to have
Uh-huh.
these seeds. That would be perfect for me. So I got
Right.
him. So I went to where he said to go. There's a whole bunch of the seeds on the ground, and then there's also um and then there's also all these sprouts that just grow up.
Oh,
And so I was
yeah,
actually
but
dug them out.
just
So
take
I
a
brought
sprout. Yeah. Uh-huh.
sprouts, and I planted a whole bunch of pot. I got one, so it's gonna grow. So when you're here, that
Awesome.
you have to wait till like 2050 for that one. But I'm gonna grow these through. So it's funny. I get that all the time. Like all the time. I'm trying to teach people are like, oh, it's gonna take 7 years before that fruit's like avocados. I'm like, okay, that's why
Here,
I'm
yeah.
planting it now. Like,
Just
why are you
plant
planting
it
that? It's
here.
gonna take 7 years to fruit.
Uh-huh. Like,
That's
well, if I
why
could
I'm
have planted
planting
it
it.
before, I would have, but I
Yeah,
did.
yeah,
Now's the time I'm doing it.
yeah.
So,
And it's like, well, yeah, if you plant everything at the same time, then they're also, I mean, and I've already planted more avocados, 5 years after or something.
mhm.
I planted some when I brought some that I planted, I was growing from a seed, and they're nice here because if you use those Haas avocados are like that I've heard somebody gets those avocados are delicious, but they're not the seeds that are produced or something like you the ones here are wild avocados. I don't think they're
Uh-huh.
native to here, but they might be because they're wild and different kinds, and they're so that's
Well, they
what
were,
you get. The seed is what you
yeah.
get. I know once you start grafting stuff and doing stuff, the tree will produce a different avocado than the seed. is. Like
Uh-huh.
you won't
Okay.
you plant that seed, you're not going to get the avocado that you ate. I guess there are people that have done those ones that you store bought ones that are like I mean that's true about almost all fruit that you get massively produced. They've done these weird splicing and
They've
grafting that
genetically
the seed
modified
doesn't
a lot. Yeah.
isn't what will
It
grow.
won't, yeah, they won't let, yeah, they don't let you take a seed from the grocery store and grow it. You got to
Yeah.
actually buy a seed from Monsanto or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, that's another thing too. Yeah, I know technically, yeah, you don't even they could like sue you because they own the rights, but not even like,
But
yeah,
that's what
these
they
ones.
make it. Yeah, so
I heard
good.
the avocado only exists because of the sloth, like the three-toed giant sloth, like
Mhm.
the or not three-toed, the giant sloth. The giant sloth, it ate it. That was the only animal that ate it, and it was the one that was the reason why it existed. Whatever
Uh-huh.
scientists were able to figure it out is for whatever remains and petrified sloth poop or however they determined it. I guess it was that's and then so I think the sloths were all over. I feel like
Yeah, they
I
were
gotta check that up.
North
I
America,
feel like
South
it's
America.
native to this region because there's different
Yeah.
versions. And when I first came here, when I lived in Phuket and I came up here, I swear there were no avocados anywhere. But I went up into the mountains and there's the Hmong tribes were selling them, and it was only like 5 baht, like 10 cents for this uh these avocados, but they were like the cheapest. They were just like in a basket. I don't even think they knew
Yeah,
what
it was probably
they
like an
were.
after. Yeah, they were just like, maybe somebody might like this. Like they
Yeah,
probably don't really know how to use it in cuisine or anything.
yeah,
You know,
and it wasn't because there's no traditional Thai food that has avocados in it. So they were just
uh-huh.
enjoying. I remember doing a video too about it on like YouTubers. I cut it open. I was just like, "Boy, these are. I can't believe these are. Because you can go to the supermarket and get them, and they're from like Chile or something.
Yeah, or
Like
Argentina.
in here, you couldn't find it in a Thai style supermarket. We've got
Hmm.
supermarkets that are like import. They're cool. You get all kinds of crazy European food because they have to uh cater to Russians,
Hmm.
Germans, Australians, a lot of more Euro trash
Hmm.
tourists
Yeah.
here than
Uh-huh.
Americans. So it's like I get
Yeah.
access to all these cool foods that I've never
Yeah.
seen
Western
before
type.
that are popular in different you know Western countries
Hmm.
and Asian, China and stuff too and stuff. It's like so you can get avocados there. I mean, it's weird. You can get things there, and they'll be. I mean, you can even get like bananas from Argentina or something. It's like just that. That's just the way the supply chain works, and it's like we've.
Hmm.
I was made this video. I was like, dude, we've got avocados right here. Why? And they're even
Why
more
aren't we
expensive
using
here. Like when you go to a supermarket here, and they're imported from farther away. I mean, you can
it?
get American food. It's funny. I saw like this Amy's Kitchen or something. I don't know something. It's like from America and it's already expensive in America and then they're shipping it over here. It's even more
Yeah.
expensive here. It's
It's
like,
even
and
more.
it's
Yeah.
nothing, it's not anything special that you like, just
That
get
you
it.
really need. Yeah, like
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
saying, we have avocados here. You
Yeah,
don't need to
that
buy
was
them
the
from.
point is they got, and they're good. They're good
They
avocados
grow
here,
here. Yeah,
but
you guys
nobody,
are
it was
in
like the
you're in the
supply chain
climate
didn't
where.
recognize that they had it. And now they do though. I swear, I don't know if it's that video, just like you said, you're doing clips. It feels like that sometimes. Like again, you're sending. That's when makes the law of attraction seems like it is.
Uh,
Like I am. Somebody's hacking my law of attractions, and
yeah.
cut.
Uh-huh.
It's real, but there's somebody that's able to like. It's actually they've got some sort of filter that's able to. There, I'll take that one from you, and I'll use it for my agenda.
Uh-huh. Right. Yeah, for sure.
But I've got avocado trees. I'm gonna have my own avocado.
That's nice. Awesome.
Haven't yeah, they haven't produced yet, but
No, yeah, it take
I've
a
got one
while.
that's
And they're
I've got
finicky
one that's
too.
5 years old planted from a
Yeah.
seed. So
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, and yeah, you're in the perfect climate for them. They were everywhere in where we were at in
yeah,
Mexico.
yeah. And then
Everywhere.
mangoes grow crazy
Yeah,
easy here. I
mangoes,
mean,
same thing.
I had a mango seed grow out of the cement, no dirt. It was just growing. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I'll replant that. It had a leaf. I mean, it actually had roots and a leaf and no dirt at all. And I was like, okay, I'll plant that. I've got almost
Those
too
are
many
good.
mango
You
trees.
know what
I
now?
just make a whole bunch of mango chutney and like kind of jar it up,
Yeah.
put it in the fridge, and
Yeah.
eventually it gets too old.
Awesome.
And yeah, yeah, it's fucking delicious.
Heck yeah. Yeah, we got a couple fig trees in our yard. So
Ooh.
like her parents are really excited and yeah. So let's
You
try
see, they
maybe try
like
to
that
pick
dry climate. I've planted. I can't get my fig trees to grow here. And all
really
I could get some. Yeah, the fig, and I think I read into that they like a really they like dry
dry and yeah.
and it could be a like a rocky. my ground's like it's too wet and soggy or
and
something. So
and soil. Yeah, not enough aeration like with
yeah,
the rocks.
yeah,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's all. There's no grass here, so yeah, we got nothing but like rocks in the yard. But yeah, we got the people that lived here before. Actually, it was funny. I was talking to my brother Justin, and I was showing him the house, and we were telling him, there's like we got like 40 or 50 like rose bushes around on the little property that we have, and I guess the guy that lived here, he really loved rose bushes, and so he took care of them. And my brother's all, I wonder if that guy was like famous or anything, because we found the guy's name like on some paperwork, and so we Googled him, and he was like a guitar player that like played with a lot of these bands like from
yeah.
the 60s and 70s, and
Why do you
and
think
he
he was famous? Because he had rose bushes? I'm not making the connection
well,
there.
I don't know. Like
Just,
my brother
or
was
just
just like,
not.
like
Oh,
because it's a big house. We live in like
okay,
a
yeah,
nice
yeah,
area, so he's like, oh, I wonder if he was like old and retired, and
yeah,
because we tell him like, yeah, we saw like he was an aircraft pilot, and like I got like some info on him,
yeah.
and then so we Googled him, and yeah, he's on YouTube playing the guitar.
Oh,
And
nice.
then he's actually videotaped a couple things. We have a casita. They call them casitas. It's like a mother mother's little house. Like it's basically a room that's semi-detached to the house. Like
Okay. So that's not a slave's
it
quarter?
has its own entrance or whatever,
Okay.
and it's not attached. You can't get
Yeah.
into it from the house. But that was like his like little hobby room, and he had like
Okay.
model airplanes hanging up. But he was doing videos there, and I
Oh,
guess a one of a kind guitar, like I think it was a Les Paul or a Gibson, I can't remember. Um, but yeah, so it was really interesting to
you're
see,
watching videos and he's
of
actually in that.
him in the
Yeah,
house.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like
Nice.
10, 15 years ago when
Yeah,
when they
yeah.
first got this place. So yeah, it was
Yeah.
kind of interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, okay, small world. Like um, yeah, the guy did a lot of crazy things, lived a really full life. It looked like so. I kind of feel like it's weird being in somebody else's house and knowing all
Yeah.
that information.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Like and just moving in and like, and we're not even sure if we're going to be here for that long. So we're trying to make it our home. And
Yeah.
so
I
yeah,
mean,
we went out and trimmed all the rose bushes. So I think next year they'll sprout. They'll look really nice next year. So maybe we'll be here to enjoy them, but maybe not. And then somebody else
I
can.
would, where would you go if you're
We
not
don't know.
in there? I mean, aren't you
We
staying
don't
there?
know.
Isn't that purpose of going back there?
Yeah,
Kind of,
we're staying here, but we don't know how long. Like the situation with their parents, how long that's going to be. And like I said, my wife's not a big fan of the desert.
yeah.
But like I said, like so far we're really enjoying it, and we're like, well, we who knows? Like maybe we'll just grow old and age into the community
Yeah.
here. Who knows?
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
we'll
Yeah. Yeah.
see. Um, but yeah, that kind of made me think. The rose bushes made me think of you're planting and you're waiting for 5 years for something good to happen, and then like
Yeah.
yeah, we just trimmed them all. We might not be able to see the goodness, but
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
somebody else might. Somebody else
Yeah.
will.
Yeah, no, that's how some of these. Yeah, I planted a couple of trees that are like these they're sick ass trees. Yeah, I won't even. Yeah, some of them take 50, 60 years. They'll
Oh yeah,
to grow and but they're gonna be. I mean, it might piss some people off because some of them are big and cast shade on their trees, but on their orchard. But I mean, they come by and spray their trees with pesticides and shit, and
garbage. Yeah,
so whatever they do their thing. I'm gonna grow a fucking tree on my land, and if the branches
yeah,
hang over,
right.
that's sorry, man.
Yeah,
This is I want some shade and some trees and um no, I mean it's gonna be sick. And so yeah, and it really makes me when I go around, I look at places and I've been to some old coffee houses or something that I can tell there's these big ass trees, and I can tell somebody planted them on purpose a long time ago. You know what I mean? I mean they're in these little areas, and
hmm
so I that's what I want. I would love to just leave and I love like twisting trees when they're young
uh-huh,
together and stuff,
uh-huh.
and somebody's gonna look at that and feel like,
Like,
like
what?
I wonder if that was done on purpose or like that looks weird. Some of them are already like fused together. I took three trees that were close together, and I wrapped their trunks up, but they're actually already, it's kind of getting hard to tell that it was three
which
separate
is
trees, but it still should look pretty cool. Now I got another one that are
yeah.
kind of further apart, and then they're going, but they'll probably end up like creating this like cave almost, and that'll look weird, but
Uh-huh.
I might not be
Yeah.
able to, I might not be able to
To
completely
enjoy
enjoy it,
it.
but it'll be somebody's gonna trip somebody out like, huh, that's
Right. Yeah.
weird, man.
Yeah.
And
They'll be
then,
like, that was intentional. Somebody a long time ago did that.
yeah,
Like, wonder where that person is. Yeah. I know I've done that too, you
yeah,
know. Or like, yeah, see a random tree somewhere, like where'd that come from? Somebody had to put it there.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
out of place. Yeah. Pretty cool. Yeah. And it's leaving a mark. Even
yeah.
if nobody will know, it's something that's gonna be there long after you're gone.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
that's I don't know, that's kind of not immortality, but kind of,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is. It is something. I mean, yeah, yeah, and
but
yeah,
yeah,
I
let's
mean, yeah, I don't even care what. I mean, I mean, I want to create something if my son wants it, if he could do some of it, or he could sell it. I don't. I'm not gonna put any pressure on him to be like, hey, like, okay, don't, don't. I mean, I mean,
uh-huh.
it doesn't really matter to me in the end. I mean, you know, I if it could if it I mean I'm hopefully to create at least a cool enough place that it's valuable enough that he could sell it, and it'd be better if they kept it. They didn't just we'll plow down and plant these stupid lumia tree that we bought or whatever. But I mean, it doesn't actually matter to me. Uh
Yeah,
um,
it's yeah, it'll be something that he can use for whatever he needs to use
yeah, he might have, yeah, if
when
he
it
could
comes time. He
sell
might
it, use that money to
he might
invest in
love it.
his dream. Yeah, let him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's all we can do, really. And yeah, and that's got to feel good that you can provide that. It's awesome.
Yeah, yeah, that. Oh yeah. So it's
You know?
early. You got up
Yeah.
early. What do you got? What do you got going on? It's midnight, so I'll wrap it up. But what you got? You're still what do you still have to do?
Yeah, I'm just, every day I'm making a clip at least. I try to make one clip a day, and then I try to scour for like memes or videos to share that I find interesting.
Yeah,
Um, and then yeah, we're starting to, like when we first got here, it's been about a month now, and so we kind of been in the house just trying to get back into a schedule, and we're trying to put stuff up and whatever little we have, and then now we're gonna start trying to work some more exercise in, because we work from home, we're always in the house, we're always sitting,
yeah. Well, you guys
you know.
have in the community. Well, I mean, just doing the
Yeah, there's like a
football,
gym, and
pickleball,
there's
and
a
oh,
yeah,
gym.
there's like a
Okay.
gym and
Nice.
a pool, and
Yeah.
so yeah, we're taking walks. So normally in the afternoons we take a walk, and then we'll have some
Water
dinner.
30 minutes. Can you tread water for 30 minutes?
Yeah, I don't know. It's been a while. I hope I could.
Treading
I
is
would
good. Well,
think
that's
I
tough.
could.
Actually, 30 minutes is kind of tough. Like
I
no
know. Yeah, it's
bottom
been a
and no
long
deep end.
time.
Yeah, yeah, no, 30 minutes. That's a monster workout, actually.
I'd have to like, yeah, I think I'd have to float some of it.
If you, yeah, 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 yeah. Well, that's okay. I think that's allowed. I think you're allowed to float for a little bit too.
No,
I mean,
are you? Okay.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
no,
Maybe.
I
Or
haven't
just
tried to tread water for an amount of time since high school. So I don't know. It'd be kind of
yeah,
interesting to see how far I could go,
yeah,
or how long I could go, because that is a good measure of like how in shape you are. I know I'm way out of shape, so
yeah,
it's gonna feel good. It's gonna feel good trying to, because you got to use it or you lose it. And
yeah.
I'm in my mid 40s now, so I'm starting to feel it a little bit more. Like, oh,
Yeah.
I sat down for too long today. Like
Yeah.
I'm feeling it in my hips
Yeah. Do you
or
make
whatever.
sounds, or if you do, I make sounds. I'm kind of joking, but man, it feels good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Uh-huh. Yeah, it
it's
does.
like I do it and then I kind of like over exaggerate it, and I'm like,
Uh-huh.
actually, that was very like that actually felt great. And then I'll do it, and then it's funny because actually one of the old guys that work, like I said, the guys that work on my land are they're pretty old, and one of them does that. He lets these moans out all the time, and
Uh-huh.
I kind of was doing it. I mean, it kind of was making fun of him, but then I'm kind of like, oh shit, and he's almost 70, he's like 67 or something. And I mean,
Uh-huh.
they do some pretty hard labor. That's why I try to do like the wheelbarrow and rocks and stuff, but they're out there in the sun. I mean, that's just that's just what they've done
That's
their whole life.
life,
And
right?
then I try to like do some stuff like they're carrying, buckets of sand from one area. I try to reach over and help them. Sometimes it's like offensive to them. So I they do it and they're working out in the heat and stuff. So it's so hot. And but yeah, and then but then yeah, so I'm making them
Yeah,
old man
right.
sounds already.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I know I do it too, and it is satisfying. And
It's
I
very
do over
satisfying.
exaggerate a little bit,
Yeah.
but
And,
yeah, but
and
but then there's times where like, oh yeah, I've been sitting for a couple hours, so now I'm stiff. And then when I stand up, I'm real stiff, and I'm like,
yeah.
oh, I'm stretching everything out. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So yeah, got our puppy's having tummy problems today.
Oh, what a cute
She has a Cushing's disease, and we found out about
baby.
it in Mexico, and it's like makes her bloated.
Ooh.
Like there's a comedian Amy Schumer that just got diagnosed with it, and they call it moon face. Like her face got real swollen.
Yeah.
um, so once we got her on the medication, though, like it went away. Her swelling, like her bloatedness went down, and she's been feeling better. So this is the first time since we've got her on that medication that she's not having a good day. And oh,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's my wife's baby.
How old is that?
10. She's
Oh,
10.
okay.
She's 10. Yeah. Little Daisy. But yeah, and she's an international dog now, so we've taken her to Mexico and back twice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she's gone pretty far. Come
Yeah.
on, Daisy. Yeah. So yeah, we got these couches and they're funny because they have they're
You didn't bring
you
those. You got them there, or did
know,
you
we
stay
got
at the
them
place,
here.
or
Yeah,
you bought them in?
we got them here, and actually pretty good deal. I can't remember what my wife paid for them, but they're older people recliners, so they're automatic. So you hit a button and they raise and lower.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
know,
That's
they're
just something to
spitting.
break, though, right? I mean, that's a
Oh
electric.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
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 And
I
I don't
hate.
know how to fix it once it breaks.
Yeah, no, that's. I mean, yeah. Everything I buy, I'm just like, I know this is gonna be fucking broke. I've got. I try not to buy shit like that, especially shit that's like plastic or something that's like I know it's not
Uh-huh.
it's just gonna stay there and it's gonna break and then it's like and we kind of live way out here. It's hard to throw stuff away, so it's just gonna
Uh-huh.
stack somewhere. I can probably
Right.
bring it out. I can bring like one. We actually have a pretty lax way that garbage pickup. There's no, you just throw your garbage there, and you can get away with
Uh-huh.
maybe throwing a broken thing here or there, and
Something.
they'll take it.
Uh-huh.
But if you went overboard, I think somebody would say something. So
Yeah.
like
They just
I've
leave
got
it
so
there.
much shit that it's just like when it breaks, a lot of kid toys too. That I try to get shit that
Yeah, and it's
everything
all
I buy, I
plastic. It's not
try to
gonna
get
go
shit
away.
that's if it
Like,
does break. I mean, it's still a nice chair. It's just like broken escalators or stairs and broken recliner is still a chair. I
uh-huh.
mean, I
Yeah.
mean, it's not going to
Hmm.
be worthless or anything, but like, um,
Right.
but yeah, I've got so much clutter of these like
Just
shit I got to
random
get rid
shit
of.
that you can't get rid of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got it. I put it little by little, and every week I try to get rid of something extra
Something.
in my garbage, just one little like off like
Whatever. Yeah.
something that doesn't fit in a plastic bag quite because
Right.
it's large in plastic or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, yeah, let's try to I know I'm horrible with communicating, but yeah, let's try to do some more collabs or
Yeah.
help you out with the clips and do some
Yeah.
more podcasts,
Yeah.
whatnot.
I'm done. I mean, I like it. Yeah, I have time and and I enjoyed this. I just enjoyed this. Yeah, I'm not this we already did what I wanted to do. I do enjoy rewatching it and finding things and then
Yeah.
getting the
And
clip is
I'll
I hear myself and improve. So yeah, I mean, yeah, this is what I want. There's nothing extra that
Yeah.
has to
Yeah, and I'll
be.
try to I'll try to get a hold of some of the people that like I mentioned, like Union of the Unknowns, and see if
Yeah,
they're down. Because I mean, you got your point of view is so authentic and uh so and where you're coming from and and even where you live and what you're trying to do is so unique that I think I don't know why I don't see why people wouldn't want to talk to you
Yeah.
Just shoot the shit with you and
Oh yeah, no, that'd be yeah, yeah. Anybody that's good. That actually the AM, what was the AM something? They actually did ask
and wake up.
AM
Yeah.
wake. Yeah, yeah, they did. And then I missed the call. They kind of just needed somebody at last minute or something. So, and
Uh-huh.
I kind of reached back out. Yeah, it could actually come through if I. I'm sure if I
Oh, I'm
asked.
sure they do a show every day, so
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
they need,
So I
you
got
know,
it. Yeah, yeah. So that I mean, yeah, yeah, just getting on. Sometimes, yeah, I'm kind of nervous to come on something because it's like I don't. I mean, it's about sometimes just I basically I have an opinion on anything, but then sometimes I get into deep water where I'm actually don't know what I'm talking about. So it's like if I have some I like talking about the things that I'm interested in, but I will
yeah,
talk about other shit, but I won't really know much about it.
yeah.
Maybe.
It's like I don't know much about it, but this is what I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Whatever. Just see how it goes. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So yeah, no, no, no. So good. I will call it
Yeah,
out.
I think yeah. And I just I like this kind of form of talking more than I do like more regimented like interview type. I
Yeah,
just like free flow, authentic conversation. You're kind of just talking about things that are on the top of your mind.
yeah,
You're not sitting set into a script, which I know
exactly. Yeah.
some people do,
Yeah,
which is fine for them,
I think to be if if followers and viewers is I think you do got to do that kind of
Yeah,
I mean have a more of a uh I mean it's probably I think there are some people who actually just maybe like this just to something different, but to be like a big time podcast I think you do need to
need some sort of
prep,
format.
some sort of prep, yeah, preparation. It doesn't have to be structured
Yeah,
strongly, but I think I visualize them being. I mean, I visualize a successful podcaster puts a lot of time into
a
their
lot of research.
and know a lot about like research the
Yeah, because
person that's coming on.
if you're gonna
Have
talk
I mean,
about some, yeah, you need
yeah,
to read up on it.
and they should, and that's why I'm not actually going to be a podcast because that stuff's that's that would just it would be too time consuming for.
Yeah, that's why
I'm
I
just not
don't, I
passionate
mean, I
enough about it.
do little bit of research, like when I'm
Yeah,
uh making clips or if I see somebody tweet something that resonates with me, but I'm not really sure on
yeah,
it, but
yeah,
so I'll it makes me look into it some more, and then I'm like, okay, formulate a little bit of an opinion, but it's not gonna be like a belief,
yeah,
because I don't know enough,
yeah,
and
yeah,
and who knows what you're getting fed
yeah,
when you're looking for info. You don't know if it's right or not. So
yeah.
yeah, and it's all learning process. But yeah, I'm gonna have to let you go though.
Sure. Let's do
My
it.
wife's
Give me,
gonna
give me,
take
give me a
off.
hashtag to add to it. Because that's part of the call. You just say one. Give me a one word. What should I? I'm gonna give like 20, however many I can.
Right.
Give me a word
Yeah.
or phrase.
Put me on the spot here.
Boom. Put
So
me on the spot. There it is.
put me on the spot. There we go.
Put me
Yeah.
on the spot.
Put me on the
That's
spot. Yeah, there you
there it
go.
is. Boom. I like it.
That'll
All right.
work. That'll work.
All right. Peace. I'll see ya.
All right.
Yeah,
Thanks,
we'll do
Chris.
something again. Yeah, collaboration, maybe something will maybe come after this. So boom, it's out there. It's out there in the
Yeah.
universe and
Yep.
is
Yep. And we said it and we're being proactive. So
for
hell
sure.
yeah.
All right.
Right
Peace.
on, man.
Peace. All right. Good talking to you.
Yep. Talk to you later. Bye.